him into the stalls. Regulus Black going forward. Next is the horse that's been supported at prices, King of Berkshire, the best turned out, 11 to 1 into 17 to 2. Brouhaha moving forward. So we have a couple that are still waiting out the back, and they are
Four to 1 bar at Clonmel. That'll be time for us to have a look at that race, no doubt, in a moment or two, as they've just deliberated with the last couple going forward at Southall for the 3:37. Crest of Fire, another winning tip perhaps for John Babb. Let's find out.
Brouhaha was very slow into stride. Market leader Crest of Fire is one of the best away, the grey, immediately showing to the 4. Silver Splash has jumped well in the noseband, and wider out Powder Monkey with a white face is 3 deep early on. Regulus Black tracks the leaders in company as well with Super Fortress, as they're strung out here already. Midfield races the likes of My Dad Frank ahead of Gadra. Finlagan quite well back in the field. Super Fortress drifting back. And the last two are King of Berkshire, who's a long way back. The last three, in fact, with Immediate Jewel, who was hidden. And last of all is Brouhaha. So Crest of Fire, David Probert keeping it simple, attended by Chief Market rival Powder Monkey, and these two already are a couple of lengths clear from Silver Splash as they turn out of the back straight. Regulus Black shows in 4th place, just ahead of My Dad Frank, but they're already chasing the shadows of the front group at the moment. A gap then back to, in 6th place, Gadra, who's just ahead of Super Fortress, Finlagan's white face. A well-backed King of Berkshire at this stage, as turning for home, it is Crest of Fire, who leads Powder Monkey passing the 3. There's a length between the 2, and they are quite a long way clear now of the remainder, who are headed still by Silver Splash, a Regulus Black towards the inside, and then Super Fortress. So Crest of Fire being pushed along. Powder Monkey in 2nd place is now round about 3 lengths or so down, with a furlong and a half to go, and getting left further behind. Super Fortress is into 3rd place. From the back, plugging on, is King of Berkshire from a long way back, Regulus Black and Finlagan. But Crest of Fire may have taken a while to get off the mark, being ridden right out to the line here, but is going to do so by an absolute country mile. And David Probert, his first winner since returning from Hong Kong. Hardly ride an easier one. Crest of Fire beats Super Fortress, who gets up for 2nd. 3rd for Powder Monkey. Late progress from King of Berkshire. And Brouhaha, late in the day, was beginning to get the idea of things, although was well beaten in 5th or 6th.
Yeah, Crest of Fire making experience count, having had 5 starts already. It was making it all by the debut today, and as you heard there from the commentator Dave Probert, back from Hong Kong then. Couldn't have an easier winning ride, could he? Crest of Fire then, another winning tip there for the William Hill Racing Radio studio. So that was the 3:37 race at Southall. Crest of Fire, the winner. Super Fortress, Ruth Carr's charge, staying on nicely for 2nd, and Powder Monkey, having tried to match Crest of Fire, held back in 3rd. Limerick on William Hill 2, that's for the Greyhounds, the 3:41. Quick show down the card there. 9 to 2, 11 to 2, 7 to 4, 5, 130, and 5 to 2 at Limerick. That's for the 3:41. And more Greyhound action from Dunstall Park in a couple of minutes as well with the 3:44. But we have got more horse racing action courtesy of Clonmel. 3:42 coming up for this contest then at Clonmel. And a field of 14. Extra place race as well for you for this 4 places instead of 3. The runners are just reaching the start now, probably not going to be off quite the time then for this. Brown Boots currently the 9 to 4 favourite then. There you can see the full screen picture as well as we cross over once again to the guys in the William Hill Racing Radio studio.
At the race, but Crest of Fire, that gelding operation has worked the trick, and good to see David Probert back with a winner as well. Right, let's get over to Clonmel. Really tricky race upcoming here. 14 go to post for this novice handicap chase, but fear not, we're paying 4 places instead of the 3. You might just need it as well. Brown Boots, your 9-4 market leader. Live to Laugh 4 to 1. Nettuno Italian Plain or Battered is at 9 to 2. 14 to 1 Cordal Boy Ciroc. 16s, as is Zolfarine. Insouciant Dallier, 18 to 1, as is Mount Shenshen and Bruce Jack. Milan Away, 25 to 1. 33 to 1, Patsy's Pride. Love Like This, 40 to 1, as is See I Told You. Right, we got through them, Andrew. You just got to give us the winner.
I quite like the profile of Nettuno Italia for Ross O'Sullivan, Kieran Buckley on board, and a horse who was started favourite at Punchestown for the last run behind Live to Laugh. Finished behind that one, but I think we just ran a little flat after the Punchestown run 19 days before. So had a break since then, freshened up, couple of months off, 6 weeks off, I think is definitely value. So Nettuno Italia, first time over the larger obstacles from a yard that does well. Kieran Buckley as well, plenty of experience in the saddle.
Yeah, Nuno Italia then, 9 to 2, second favourite. They're off and running. Let's get over to Clonmel.
Carries Castle Novus Handicap Chase over 3 miles and 14 fences. Milan Away first to show in front from Plainer Battered, followed by Love Like This, who disputes third with Serok. Live to Laugh, Brown Boots not far behind them, and then the top weight in Susie and Daddier. Nettuno Italia next, then Cordal Boy and Zolfarine. See I Told You, Bruce Jack, Patsy's Pride, dropped in as Mount Shenshan. Turning in for the first fence, closely grouped Plainer Battered, joins issue with Milan Away, followed by Love Like This, Serok next. In between horses is Live to Laugh. On the outside, Nettuno Italia with Insusi and Dallier alongside. They're followed by Brown Boots as they set their sights on the first fence. Plainer Battered into it. Lands with Milan Away, followed by Live to Laugh, Love Like This, Brown Boots, Serok, and Susie and Dallier, Cordal Boy, and Zolfarine. That was fence 2, with a couple of circuits in front of them. Plainer Battered, just in front from Milan Away, then Live to Laugh, Love Like This, Brown Boots, and in by the rail is Serok, Cordal Boy, and Susie and Dallier, and Zolfarine and Nettuno Italia. Now back towards rear division. On the inside is Patsy's Pride, and then Bruce Jack, See I Told You, and Mount Shenshan. Running uphill to fence number 3. Plainer Battered, Milan Away, Live to Laugh, the leading 3, followed by Serok, and Brown Boots turns in 5th, the check colours. And then Love Like This, and that was stable companion Zolfarine on the inside of Cordal Boy, and then Susie and Dallier and Patsy's Pride and Nettuno Italia, Bruce Jack, See I Told You, and Mount Shenshan. Over the first of the fences up the far side, and it is Plainer Battered, followed by Milan Away, Live to Laugh, Brown Boots, as they go out of the next fence in the back straight. It's Plainer Battered from Live to Laugh, just taking up second from Milan Away, then Brown Boots, Sedok, Love Like This, Cordal Boy, and Susie and Dallier, and Zolfarine and Nettuno Italia, Bruce Jack, Patsy's Pride, See I Told You, and Mount Shenshan. The fence at the completion of a circuit, and it's Plainer Battered, Shane O'Callaghan leading a length, Live to Laugh, and Ethan O'Sullivan. And then Milan Away, Mike O'Connor shading third from Brown Boots and Richie Deegan. And then Love Like This, Serok, Cordal Boy, and Susie and Dallier, and then Zolfarine and Nettuno Italia with the final 4. Bruce Jack, Patsy's Pride, See I Told You, and Mount Shenshan. But they continue well stacked up. Turning back for the 2 fences in the straight. Soon at halfway, the Kerry's Castle Novice Handicap Chase over 3 miles. In they come, second time. Plainer Battered, Live to Laugh, followed by Milan Away, Brown Boots, Love Like This. Further out is Susie and Dallier, then Serok and Cordal Boy and Zolfarine and Nettuno Italia, Bruce Jack, Patsy's Pride. Mount Shenshan just relegates See I Told You to be the back marker. First of 2 below the winning post. Plainer Battered landed with Live to Laugh, then Milan Away and Brown Boots, Love Like This, and Serok and Cordal Boy and Susie and Dallier next. Then Zolfarine. Live to Laugh jumped on at that fence in front of the stands, finishing on the circuit coming up. Live to Laugh. Plainer battered and neck to a half length between them. Followed round the bend with 6 more to jump by Milan Away. Then Brown Boots, Love Like This. Sedok is followed by Insouciant Deli and Cordal Boy. And then Zolfarine as they go uphill to the 6th last fence. Live to Laugh, the narrow leader from Plainer battered. A couple of lengths to Milan Away. Contesting third with Brown Boots, then Love Like This, Sedok. Insouciant Deli and Cordal Boy. On the inside is Zolfarine and then Natuna Italia, Patsy's Pride, Bruce Jack, Mount Shenshan, and See I Told You. Up the back they go for the final time. 5 fences remaining. Moving on by 2.5, Live to Laugh. From Plainer battered, Milan Away and Brown Boots in 4th. Then Love Like This and Cordal Boy and Sedok is next. On to the middle fence in the back straight, 4 out. And Live to Laugh. Plainer battered, followed by Milan Away and Brown Boots. And then comes Love Like This and Cordal Boy, Zolfarine, Sedok, Insouciant Dalier. And then Patsy's Pride and Natuna Italia. Onto the ditch. For the last time, this is 3 fences from the finish. Live to Laugh from Plainer battered, back within a length. And then Brown Boots, who goes after them in 3rd. And then Love Like This, ridden along. And losing ground to the leaders is Milan Away, then Cordal Boy. Sedok, Insouciant Dali and Natuna Italia. Zolfarine trying to improve is Bruce Jack. And then Patsy's Pride and Mount Shenshan. Live to Laugh from Plainer battered. A length and a half between them, followed by Brown Boots. Nudged along on the inside of Love Like This. And then Insouciant Dali, who's gone 5th. Then Sedok, Bruce Jack. Coming round them on the outside. And then Cordal Boy. Turning in with 2 fences left to jump. And it's Live to Laugh from Plainer batter getting reminders. Then Brown Boots shaken up, followed by Love Like This. Wider still is Insouciant Dalier, and then Mount Shenshan from a good bit back. Live to Laugh comes towards the 2nd last. Has re-established an advantage. Live to Laugh over from Plainer battered Brown Boots, and then Insouciant Dalier and Mount Shenshan and Patsy's Pride. Final fence coming up, and it is Live to Laugh over from and 2nd Plainer battered, and then Brown Boots, and up to the line. Live to Laugh and Ethan O'Sullivan combine to win again. Plainer battered in 2nd. The judge will make the decision for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It was close between that triumph.
Was indeed, but Live to Laugh wins it from Plain or battered then, and quite close for 3rd and 4th. Don't forget, we were going 4 places though here, William Hill, so we'll keep an eye out for the full result. No time to go to the William Hill Racing Radio Studio ahead of this next contest coming up. A stamina sapping extended 3 3/4 miles at Chepstow for the 350. There they are filing out from the collecting area. Light on the wing. Will it stay the trip? If it does, well, looks the one to beat the 11-year-old. And it is 11-5, in fact 9-4 now on the off. 7-2 then for River Voyage. Rebecca Curtis is runner. She gets plenty of winners at Chepstow. That was a winner last time out. And it's 6-1 and bigger for the remainder then. So runners down there at the start. The starter has got the flag raised there, we can see, for this long distance or further. And there's the 350 race at Chepstow. Good luck with your bets, everybody. Let's cross over to the track.
Please let them go. They're off and racing for this marathon test over the Welsh National Course and Distance. Heading towards the first of the 23 fences. Quite a charge on as well. They're hanging about over the first fence. And the one who landed in front was Amateur, the best turned out winner on the inside. This is the Stevens Industries EPDM flat roofing handicap steeplechase, just shy of 3 miles 7 furlongs now. And Amateur is the early leader. To Light on the Wing, the favourite. It's racing in the dark blue and gold. Slight colour change for Hand in My Pockets, now black with the blue star, is in 3rd with those massive cheek pieces. Behind him in 4th place is Stellar Stream in the light blue. On the inside goes To Be Sure, the green and red. Out wider is the grey Gold Emery. 2 lengths back to find Gingerbread, and then comes River Voyage. The early back marker, Sean Bowen and a Spurty in the blue and white as they head into the back straight on the first of 2 occasions. Head towards the 2nd fence. Amateur is bowling along in front. The 13-year-old in the hands of Edward Vaughan by 2 lengths to Light on the Wing in 2nd place for Kieran O'Shea. 3rd place on the inside, that's Hand in Many Pockets for James Best. Black colours. Light blue of Stellar Stream is next, also cheek pieces. Wider out the grey is Gold Emery. So they jump. Oh, the 4, he's unseated, in fact. Amateur made a mistake, but he unseats the rider, Edward Vaughan. Horse continues riderless. Amateur jockey is sitting up. Looks okay. The riderless horse has cleared the next fence with feet to spare as well. He got in the way of Gold Emery's. Now he's going to run out Amateur, the loose horse, over the next fence. So early drama. And they're continuing to run down the back. The new leader is now Light on the Wing, ahead of Gold Emery. And then Handy Many Pockets in third, ahead of Stellar Stream, and then Gingerbread. To Be Short. And then comes River Voyage. And the last of the 8 that remain is a Spurty, held up by the champion jockey in the blue and white. Next plain fence down the back. Light on the Wing, by a length and a half to Gold Emery in second. Red colours of Gingerbread on the outside. Towards the inside is Handy Many Pockets. Between them is Stellar Stream. And then comes To Be Sure in the red cap, followed by River Voyage, the dark blue and red. Still at the back is a Spurty. Riderless horse still proceeds the field. Hopefully he keeps out of harm's way here on this run out of the back straight. Downhill now they go, led by Light on the Wing. Just niggled along there with Stellar Stream. Back in about 5th place. A bid to do better than in this race last year. Making the long turn back towards home then to face these 5 fences in the home straight. Number 8 will be next. And Light on the Wing, travelling nicely in front by 2 lengths to Gold Emery. On the inside in third is Handy Many Pockets. Then comes Gingerbread, who's racing in 4th. From Stellar Stream and To Be Short, River Voyage, and the held up Esperti as they jump the next. All over safely. Light on the Wing, leading Gold Emery still by a couple of lengths. On the inside is Handy Many Pockets in third. 4th place then for Gingerbread, ahead of Stellar Stream. Little gap then to Be Sure. Another gap to River Voyage, just niggled along. The back marker is Spurty, but in touch. Light on the Wing, joined that time by the grey Gold Emery. Jumped it well for Theo Gillard. This will be the second last next time around. Light on the Wing, Gold Emery. From Handy Many Pockets and Gingerbread. Then Stellar Stream and a gap to Be Short. This is fence number 12. Which you only want to take 3 times in total, the last next time. And we have a new leader. It is Gold Emery, who goes on to Light on the Wing. He's now racing in second. And then Handy Many Pockets from Gingerbread and Stellar Stream. The front 5 are about 5 lengths clear of To Be Sure, Esperti and River Voyage. Stayed on well to win at Foss last time, over 3 miles. This is almost 4 miles as they head out to the back straight once again. Still the riderless Amateur up on the outside of the field. The leader is Gold Emery by a length to Light on the Wing in second. 3rd place now, just Handy Many Pockets ahead of Gingerbread, who's close up in 4th. And then comes Stellar Stream. From To Be Sure, the niggled along River Voyage. And finally a Spurty. Into the back straight. Fence number 13 is a plain one. And the grey, Gold Emery. Well, the loose horse cut across him there, Amateur. Now he's on the inside of the runners over that fence. So Gold Emery leading Light on the Wing and Gingerbread, who's travelled up well for Jack Stenhouse into 3rd place. Inside the cheap pieces, Handy Many Pockets. River Voyage getting closer all of a sudden on the outside of Stellar Stream. He's going to get a reminder from Callum Pritchard. Then comes To Be Sure and a Spurty over that fence. So heading towards the next one down the back, number 16, Gold Emery. So in second place, Light on the Wing, the gold cap. Red colours, Gingerbread on the inside, the black of Handy Many Pockets. The improving River Voyage is now travelling much more kindly for Toby McCain-Mitchell, is in 5th place. Stellar Stream is next, still ridden along. And then To Be Sure and a Spurty. Sean Bowen yet to play his hand, is still in touch as they head slightly downhill towards the next. Fence number 18, the last in the back. Gold Emery to Light on the Wing. Slight mistake from Handy Many Pockets, but he's still in 3rd place. Ahead of Gingerbread, River Voyage in 5th, as rather run in snatches. but is in touch with the leaders. Stellar Stream is next, ridden along. They make the run downhill towards the home straight, and Asperti has now picked up some ground. Has gone into 6th place ahead of Stellar Stream. And To Be Sure is next. So around the bottom turn for the final time. 5 left to jump and about 3/4 of a mile to go. And it's still Gold Emery by a half length. Ridden along now in second, Light on the Wing. Hand in Many Pockets in third. 4th place for Gingerbread. River Voyagers back in 5th. Asperti is making ground for Sean Bowen after a patient ride. The gap to Be Sure at the next. Stellar Stream has dropped right away. Gold Emery in front still.
Well, they're all over that one. They're going to be off in a second at Warwick. Last call for bets 358 there. AJ's Diamond 6-5, the favourite at Warwick.
Gingerbread. Asperti starts to try and get into the race. A long way behind those two in 5th. And then River Voyage is under pressure in 6th. The leader is still Gold Emery. Down towards the third last. A Hand in Many Pockets. A gap to Light on the Wing. Softly for Asperti. Now into 4th place, but is ticking them off one by one for Sean Bowen. As they head down towards the second last, it's Gold Emery to Hand in Many Pockets. The eye is drawn to Asperti in the blue and white, now into a share of 3rd place, but it's still got 4 lengths to find on the leader as they head towards the last. It's Gold Emery, tackled by Hand in Many Pockets in second, Asperti in third. Here's the last, Gold Emery. A mistake there by Gold Emery, and that hands the advantage to Hand in Many Pockets, who's now gone on with 100 yards to go. It's Hand in Many Pockets. Asperti is running on out wide, but it's surely too late. Hand in Many Pockets for Sid Hosey and James Best goes on to win. Hand in Many Pockets. Asperti got going too late in second. Third, Gold Emery. 4th, running on.
Yeah, 10-1 for the winner. Hand in Many Pockets there. Then as Gold Emery fluffed its lines, Asperti stayed on for second. Hand in Many Pockets, Asperti and Gold Emery. Full SPs to follow. Let's go straight to Warwick.
Going on towards the 3rd hurdle, and Ipap, who was second in France last time, has the advantage for the stable of Jed O'Keefe, with Philip Armstrong doing the steering, Pure Seduction in second, and Ben Sutton being followed to the inside by Gower Spirit. To the outside, that's Lady Magic. AJ's Diamond is following, and then Mistral Millie. So they are on top of the 3rd hurdle, and Ipap has extended the advantage, a leading margin of around about 4 lengths, with Pure Seduction in the blue and pink silks just showing in second place, only just from Lady Magic. Gower Spirit joined by AJ's Diamond, and finally Mistral Millie. So on this long run now to the 4th, and they head inside the last mile and a quarter. Ipap it is, has the lead, with Lady Magic and Pure Seduction still matching strides for second place, and matching strides for 4th position, Gower Spirit and AJ's Diamond. Freddie Gordon's man AJ's Diamond to the outside. Last of all is Mistral Millie as they now go towards the next hurdle, and the turn at halfway. So it is Ipap still in front, Ipap the leader on the approach to that bend. Ipap the leading by about 1.5 lengths. 2 in second place, Lady Magic, and then Pure Seduction, AJ's Diamond, Gower Spirit, and Mistral Millie is detached by around about 3 lengths as they approach this line of hurdles, beginning with 5 out, and Ipap will take off in front there, and they are over. So it is Ipap the leader by around about 1.5 lengths, with Lady Magic, Pure Seduction, and AJ's Diamond. They are following, and then Gower Spirit and several lengths to Mistral Millie as they go towards 4 out, and it's Ipap by 1/2 length. Now Lady Magic tries to move alongside. Ipap, Lady Magic, Gower Spirit, AJ's Diamond on the outside of Pure Seduction, and a gap of about 6 lengths to the outpace Mistral Millie, and Lady Magic takes over from Ipap, and that was 3 from home, and Lady Magic has gone on. Lady Magic now by about 3/4 of a length to Ipap, driven second. AJ's Diamond just in behind the front two, bears down on them. Gower Spirit still in contention, gap then a few lengths to Pure Seduction, and then trying to get back into the race, Mistral Millie. They're spinning off the last turn, 3 furlongs out and 2 to jump, and it's Lady Magic, Ned Fox aboard Lady Magic with 1.5 lengths lead, but the strong travelling AJ's Diamond there to the left. Gower Spirit and Ipap are following, then Mistral Millie and Pure Seduction. Lady Magic tackled now by AJ's Diamond as they rise at the second last. Gower Spirit is still in there pitching, being followed by Ipap.
Up Lady Magic, AJ's Diamond to the near side. Here's the final hurdle. AJ's Diamond with a good clean leap takes over from Lady Magic in second place, and on the run in, it's a matter of strides, which sees AJ's Diamond putting the race to bed easily. AJ's Diamond, the winner. Race on for second, close for second between Gower Spirit and Lady Magic, and in behind it, Mistral, Millie and Ipop cross the line together.
Yeah, I guess the race there in easy fashion, really. AJ's Diamond for Chris and Freddie Gordon. They're taking the lead off Lady Magic, who might well have not even held on for second there as Gower Spirit was staying on stoutly. AJ's Diamond, though, is the winner. Now, just elsewhere, very quickly, a couple of results to catch up on for you. Clonmel's 342 was an extra place race here. We were going 4 places. Live to Laugh, the winner, 9-2. The runner-up, Plain or Battered, was 9-2. Third was Brown Boots, the 5-2 favourite. And the all-important fourth for each-way purposes, number 8, Mount Shensham at 20-1. So that was Clonmel. And also Chepstow with the 350. Hand in Many Pockets was the winner at 10-1, beating Asperti into second place. Sean Bowen just couldn't make up the leeway, 16-1 the runner-up. And Gold Emery, who cut out quite a lot of the running, was third at 11-1. So that was those two. AJ's Diamond, 11-10 favourite, beats Gower Spirit at 9-1 at Warwick to keep us right up to date. Meanwhile, at Widdyville 2, just while you're watching the replay there from Warwick, set at Dunstall now for the 403. This is an extra place race as well if you've had an each-way bet on the dogs. 3 places instead of 2 for this one, so good luck. They're off and away. And 4, 5 and 6 on the outer, joined on their inner by 3, then come 1 and 2 as they make their way round the bend and down to halfway. And 3's raced through to take a 2-length cushion from 5, and then comes 1, 4, 6 and 2's dropped away. Making the way down the far side at Dunstall Park, and 3 pressed on the inner by 5, who races through to take the lead off the 3. 1 is really motoring now though, 5 leads, but we'll look at 1 go up the inside, and 4's making rapid late headway, and 6 is coming as well. 1 struck the front, 6 grabbed second, and in the end it was close for third, and that was between 5 and 4, but Trap 1 coming out on top at Dunstall Park. Don't forget as well, plenty happening later on, and for you plus card holders as well. Wales to reach the playoff final. They're taking on Bosnia this evening at 7:45. It should be 2-5. Even money for plus card holders, though. That epic person, that's for Wales to reach the playoff final. Can they beat Bosnia this evening? There's plenty of football taking place. Have a look on the betting terminals for all the various matches and all the offers as well. But the horse racing continues this afternoon, and next port of call going to be back to the flat again now then for Southall, with the next race there being the 407. Got close-up shot there of Saxon Grace on its second start for Darragh Burke at Southall. Fickle McSelfish is the 7-2 favourite. Horse number 6, David Nolan on board. Activos and Maximum Velocity both 4-1 and 6-1 are bigger for the remainder. Then just over a couple of minutes to go to the off then for the 407. The competitive looking 7 furlong handicap then. All 12 will line up for this one. Then let's cross over once again to the William Hill Racing Radio studio.
Well, it's a very small each way bet at a big price. Rod Millman's horse, Joanna Mason, Ticket to the Stars. Very curious that this horse was dropped. I don't know why they did this. They dropped it into a 5 furlong maiden at this track last time out. It was 125-1. Understandably got outclassed and outpaced, but did stick on quite well and has shown little glimmers of ability. And the handicap marks opened up at 67 after the 3 runs, now down to 52 from Midland Park. I think there is some hope that this 7 furlongs might actually bring a little bit of improvement in this grade. So it's around about a 33-1 shot, I think. So I wouldn't put anybody off a small play on that. And the other one, obviously, the eye catcher last time was Popty Ping.
Yeah.
Drawn in stall 1 today. Didn't get a clear run at all last time and finishing behind Maximum Velocity. So we were left, I think if you backed it that day, you're left a little bit frustrated, to say the least. So you'd be hoping you get a clearer run today, and you can really see what Popty Ping's all about. So they're the ones that Popty Ping, Quick Quasar, just from, a point of view of a good stable with potential, but we haven't seen an awful lot yet. And at a big price, perhaps Ticket to the Stars, but it's not a race that fills me with joy, this one. It fills me with fear.
But there is values we found. Popty Ping 6-1, Quick Quasar 13-2, Ticket to the Stars, as John said a moment ago, 33-1. in there as well. We have got a solo market favourite now. Obviously, Fickle McSelfish and Akrivos were sharing the top of the betting. Now 7-2 Fickle McSelfish, 4-1 Akrivos. Maximum velocity at 5s, Popty Ping at 6s, as mentioned, and Big the Rest. And obviously, a pound higher than that win here at Southall back in December, so not a huge change. And some decent performances in there. We mentioned that run at Newcastle back on Valentine's Day, which was a pretty decent one, albeit over slightly longer on the trip. Last couple going in here, Southall for the 4.07. We'll head over, of course, to Clonmel and the 4.12. Got Chepstow's 4.20 up very shortly, and the 4.30 from Warwick as well. We'll be hearing from John and AT on those. But in the meantime, they're good to go at Southall.
And they're off. 7 furlongs. And a little bit awkward and restrained to cross behind the field was Saxon Grace. Out well towards the inside. Forceful Lady shows up. Akrivos is going forward. So's Ticket to the Stars. Quick Quasar is trying to get across with Mearside Princess, and also Fickle McSelfish is held quite wide. The two from the widest out gates are going to try and cross right in front of the field, and Fickle McSelfish from stall 12 and Mearside Princess from 11 are the first two. So Mearside Princess now the running rail from Fickle McSelfish. Quick Quasar on the outside of Quids In. Ticket to the Stars races in 5th place with Akrivos racing in 6th as they make their way around the bend. A second half of the field are still headed by Forceful Lady ahead of Saragasso, then Popty Ping. Maximum Velocity only has a couple behind. They are Saxon Grace as they make the corner. As they now make the turn, Sahana is last of all. So Mearside Princess has the lead from Fickle McSelfish. Behind these Quidzin and Quick Quasar. Ticket to the Stars. Saxon Grace makes ground towards the left-hand side. Maximum Velocity is now under pressure. Popty Ping is having to weave amongst horses. Switches off the heels of Akribos. Out in the lead, it is Fickle McSelfish, now pressed by Quick Quasar, who's backed the near side rail for Holly Doyle. Quick Quasar's gone on. Popty Ping and Sahana towards the right-hand side are trying to get on terms. Fickle McSelfish is still there as well, but it's out in the lead. Quick Quasar still has the advantage. Fickle McSelfish, Popty Ping, these three as they head up towards the line. Popty Ping on the outside of Quick Quasar. This is going to be tight. Popty Ping. Popty Ping it is who beats Quick Quasar. Fickle McSelfish, Ticket to the Stars. Behind those was Sahana, just ahead of Mearside Princess.
Yeah, delivered late there by Mark Wynn. Popty Ping gains a second course and distance victory and pops in at the odds of 6-1 there, proving to be strong in the end for Quick Quasar, who itself had struck the front. The red colours there are Fickle McSelfish back in third in the end, ahead of Ticket to the Stars. This is how they finished at Southall, so that was for the 4.07. Now, just while you're watching the replay there, they're loading in quickly on Williamville 2 at Toaster now for the 4.09. Even money for Trap 3 for the 4.09. We're going to be off to Clonmel shortly. SP's at Southall 6-1, 13-2, and 7-2 favour Popty Ping, Quick Quasar, Fickle McSelfish. Toaster just about set. Starter checks them. So heads on the move. While you're watching the head on replay there from Southall, as I say, we'll be concentrating on Clonmel in a moment. Meanwhile, at Toaster, 6 misses the break and 2's out quickly from 4, 5 and 3. Then the gap to 6 as they make their way round the bend and go down the far side. The Blue Jacket, the 2 out in front, leading the way here. Bambi Daisy by 4 or 5 lengths from the others. 5 in second, ahead of 4 and 3. Then comes 6. And on the home turn at Toaster, it's still 2 continues to show. Its stride is shortening and 5 is coming. And 2 pressed on the outside by 5. Don't rule 4 out either into the closing stages. 5 and 2, 4 looking to come between them. 5 and 4 go on. 5 and 4 in a close finish. 5 grinding it out there though. Flee from Gossip Trap 5 just getting the better of the 4 dog. Now on Williamville 2 we have got action from France as well. Sean T with the 4 o'clock race there, running a little bit behind time, 10 minutes or so, but they're loading up for that contest in France. As promised though, we have got more action coming up on the horse racing from Clonmel. Maiden hurdle over 2 miles. Runners on the way down to the start now at Clonmel for the next race on the card coming up. This the 4.12. Non-runners here. Number 6 Jet Renegade, 12 Tinted of Verano, and reserve as well. Not needed. Number 10 Sea Bloom. So 16 of them on the way down to the start. With the short price favourite though, the Willie Mullins runner Bodick for Jigginstown and Paul Townend on board the short price favourites is 10-11 at present. They're just reaching the start. So the jockeys giving their mounts a look there at that hurdle as we cross over once again to the Williamville Racing Radio studio for a closer look.
Come out of the woodwork and be, Henry de Bromhead's Paul Patrick. That's probably the best backed horse in here. Was quite substantially bigger this morning, and especially with the other 2 horses haven't shown too much. That horse's first run over hurdles this afternoon. It's running 3 bumpers so far. I always think that Henry's horse has improved for a run. I suppose the interesting bumper form was behind Killwater, who's now trained by Philip Hobbs in a bumper. Paul Patrick's probably the one I'd side with, but it's speculative. As I say, you're taking on 2 horses that have shown a decent level of ability, but the form of those maiden hurdles hasn't worked out particularly strong.
Last bit of equipment work done on Carlin here. Owen Walsh on board there at 125 to 1, but it's Paul Patrick at 5 to 2 who's taking the victory here according to AT. We will see very shortly. Bodick, the 5 to 6 odds on market favourite. San Hilario, decent form for that one, but of course, as we'd expect in this race, yet to get over the winning line first, 100 to 30.
Just keeping an eye on Hey Now, who's, let's say, owned by JP, trained by Andy Mack. Simon Torrens is on board. He's quite a light framed horse who might just take a bit of time to fill that frame. Just you can see when the saddle's on him. Doesn't carry an awful lot of condition. He's 5 years of age. He's quite a tall horse. He might just need a little bit of time. So, you can see it's for as maiden hurdles go. It's fairly open, but you've got a few horses in here who've shown a similar level of ability, had the chances. It's a classic case of when are they going to be able to break that maiden? But I'm going to go for Paul Patrick to break the maiden on his first start over the larger obstacles.
We'll see. Pretty much. Clonmel. Bodick continues to be odds on at the off, 10 to 11, but best lucky bets here.
White flag that off. San Hilario on the inside of Bodick, followed the first flight by Name Your Game. And then Chabradien on the inside, Paul Patrick. Away the race from the first flight, matching strides, San Hilario and Bodick, building up an advantage of 4 to 5 lengths over Name Your Game in third. Then Paul Patrick, Chabradien next, followed by Figaro and Hey Now, Me Wee Nanny Fran, Mabula Hannah. Well spread out. San Hilario by less than a length to Bodick, now 6 lengths. To Name Your Game in third, Paul Patrick in fourth, and Chabradien and Figaro. Hey Now and Me Wee Nanny Fran, followed round the bend by Colesberg. And then Balnabula Hannah, another break in the field to Two Can Plan, followed on straightening up by Checkpoint Georgie. In between those two is Carlin. And then comes Knowing Me with the final couple. Home by the Sea and Comidons and Rev. That was flight number 2. And it's San Hilario and Bodick. Comidons and Rev down at the back. Flight number 3 and the last one next time. Landing together, Bodick and San Hilario, maintaining a sizable 5 to 6 length advantage over Name Your Game in third and Paul Patrick in fourth. Out in front of Figaro and then Chabradien. Hey Now next, and then Balnabula Hannah and Me Wee Nanny Fran and Colesberg. Followed round the bend with 10 furlongs to go by Carlin. And then comes Knowing Me. Two Can Plan, Checkpoint Georgie, Home by the Sea. As they return to the back straight and reaching the halfway stage in doing so. San Hilario and Bodick with the greatly reduced advantage over a closing pair. Name Your Game and Paul Patrick. Fifth place is Hey Now, gone well clear of Figaro, and then Chabradien, Balnabula Hannah and Colesberg next. Center flight in the back straight. Still side by side, San Hilario and Bodick, followed by Paul Patrick. And then Name Your Game, who's lost the spot. Hey Now is next. Last of 3 in the back straight. San Hilario and Bodick, followed by Paul Patrick. Name Your Game and Hey Now, a long way clear of the remainder. So they turn at the top of the track. 2 more flights left to jump the Nar Valley Maiden Hurdle. Matched are San Hilario and Jack Kennedy, and Bodick, Paul Townend. 6 to 7 lengths back to Paul Patrick and Dad O'Keefe in third. And then Hey Now, who's taking up fourth at the expense of a fading Name Your Game. Around the bend for the final two flights, San Hilario and Boydick. Turning in, San Hilario and Boydick. Now niggle along on the outside, Paul Patrick adrift in third, and then Hey Now, Name Your Game. 2 furlongs to race and 2 flights left to jump, and both flat out. San Hilario and Boydick continuing clear of Paul Patrick, and then Hey Now, Boydick will rise at the second last in front. From San Hilario in third place, a long way behind, is Paul Patrick, and Boydick assumes command in between the last 2 flights. Has it settled? San Hilario hit the last hard, was beaten in any case, and then Paul Patrick. It is Boydick and Paul Townend coming good in the end. In second place, it's San Hilario and Paul Patrick in third.
Yeah, those 3 were the first 3 in the betting, and indeed Boydick in the famous Jigginstown colours there. Paul Townend doing the business on the favourite, gets the better of Gordon Elliott's runner San Hilario, and Andrew Thornton for Paul Patrick, and Andrew de Bromhead's charge has got round third best there, and those 3 were clear from the rest of them, but the favourites won it in the shape of Boydick. Now, we have got some American horse racing due to begin, by the way, from various tracks. Mahoning Valley 4:15 on William Hill 2. The runners there are just making their way down to the starting stalls for the opening race there at Mahoning Valley. There's plenty more stateside action, which we'll cover in more detail for you later on. But we've still got lots and lots of action this afternoon from Warwick, Chepstow, Clonmel will be just been to as well, and Southwell on the flat. And don't forget, later on, Chelmsford gets underway at 5:30. Limerick's 4:18 on William Hill 2 is just about to take place, and also we've split the screen on William Hill 2, so you can see that American race I was talking about, and that is at Mahoning, where Ashley's Ring. Now this novices handicap hurdle over the extended 2 miles and 3 furlongs. Runners on the way down to the start. Ludwig, Neil King's runner there in shot on its way down to the start. So just a quick look at the betting though, in an absolutely wide open race. 9-2 joints Sailing By and the Indian Tagur. In fact, Indian Tagur 9-2, Sailing By, Lockdown lad, and how open this contest is. No runners for the start at Chepstow then for the 4:20 race. I'll tell you what, seeing as they're just on the way down to the start for it, if we look on Willie Bill 2, they are often the way about owning, so let's just give you that first of all.
These Ring and Opulent Ways are together, and Danza Magic still trails, but she's only 3 lengths off. They hit the far turn, 3/8 to go. Lucky Phoenix, Vitami 1-2. Then it's Opulent Ways, Ashley's Ring, and that trailer is still Danza Magic, 5/16 to go. Lucky Phoenix trying to fight off Vitami. These two have put 3.5 on Opulent Ways. Ashley's Ring has to do better. She's now 5 lengths behind. Top of the stretch. Lucky Phoenix off the corner with the slim advantage. Vitami is right there. Opulent Ways is getting closer. She's third. Ashley's Ring on the inside. She's in deep water. A furlong to go. Lucky Phoenix, Vitami, they continue their battle, and Opulent Ways is trying to join the fray. A 16 to go. Lucky Phoenix just in front. Vitami with the final effort. Here comes Opulent Ways. Tight.
Yeah, 3-way go there at Mahoning Valley for the start of the action there, the 4:15. It doesn't get closer than that, so 3 of them all fighting out the finish there at Mahoning. Right, Chepstow, 4:20 there, and they were making their way down to the start. Looks like they're all down there now, though, for this absolutely wide open contest. 5-1 the field at Chepstow for the 4:20. Bit of a puzzle then. Let's see if the guys in the Willie Bill Racing Radio studio can solve it for you.
Testing enough as well on that occasion. He just had a tendency to look a touch left-handed through his race. I think that was probably the heavy ground that was making him do that more than anything else. He's been given a good break between races by Martin Keatley. He's on a sounder surface for taking the ride. Freddie Keatley, I think he's at Warwick this afternoon, so that's the reason Sean's on board. And yeah, like I said, the better ground will certainly suit him, and he'll certainly be in the mix. I think it's one of those races here, Pete, that you'll look back through. There's quite a few winners will come out of this race. It's just who's best handicapped of them today. But I'm going to go with, as I say, I'm going to go with Sailing By because I think his last run was...
The two Sailing By there, Brendan Powell on board that Tizad run of the selection for Andrew Thornton. I was kind of hoping we'd get off on time here because we were a little bit tight towards Warwick. The starter is making the way over though, so we should just be about okay to get back and hear John's thoughts ahead of that 4:30 at Warwick, which is of course en route. We've got the 4:37 from Southall as well. And last little bit of admin to be done. Sailing By the selection here for AT at 11-2, but we've got 9-2 now. Market favourite Ludwig, who's had a lot of support, in fact, before the off. They're good to go. Best of luck with the events.
Won't be too long now. Flags up, calls them in, and they're off. Jumped away for the DB Roofing Novices Handicap Hurdle, just shy of 2.5 miles. On the run towards the first of the obstacles here. First the 10 flights. The well-backed Ludwig is up there early on with Sailing By's jumping it in second place. Ludwig was very fluent at the first. Towards the far side of the Fabulous Bucks in the yellow and dark blue. The light green and yellow is Bells of Ufford towards the stand side. Hidden Target in the dark blue and grey is next door to him. Then Locked Down Lad as they head towards the next flight. Followed by Nanseford Shore. Was a bit untidy there. It's quite keen. Nanseford Shore on the inside, the pink and black. Wider out the grey is Izzy's grey. And towards the back, Can You Hear Me in the old West Tip colours, the light blue with the black sash. And Indian Cigar is towards the back as well, the red and orange colours for Joe Anderson. Long run between these two flights. Second last and the last in the home straight today. And it is Le Fabulous Bucks and Ludwig. Both attracted market support beforehand. They're first and second over it. Ahead of Sailing By in third. Bells of Ufford on the outside, just fourth. Ahead of Locked Down Lad on the inner. And then Hidden Target from the grey Izzy's grey. Can You Hear Me is next. And then comes Nanseford Shore. And Indian Cigar is towards the back of the field. In the red and orange being held up as they turn past the stands. About to head down the back straight. Having jumped the first 3 hurdles. 4 flights await them down here. The leader just about Le Fabulous Bucks from Ludwig, who won at Lingfield on much more testing ground earlier in the year. On the inside of those in third place is Locked Down Lad, just ahead of Sailing By and Bells of Ufford, who's going the wider route. And then Izzy's Grey from Hidden Target. And Can You Hear Me? Wearing the first time hood is next in the field from Indian Cigar up on the outside of Nanseford Shore, who's towards the back in the pink and black colours. On the run towards the 4th flight. The Fabulous Bucks and Ludwig together, with Bells of Ufford now taking a clear third. Sailing By is in the pink and purple. Red and black for Locked Down Lad on the inside. And then comes Izzy's Grey over that hurdle. On the inside is Hidden Target. Can You Hear Me is upsides him. Indian Cigar towards the back, the mare with Nanseford Shore. Over the next, Ludwig touches down by about a head or a neck. Over the Fabulous Bucks, the wide racing Bells of Ufford. Sailing By is still there as they race towards the next. Followed by Can You Hear Me, who's made a few placings up, but it's just ridden along. Then Izzy's Grey. Hidden Target's lost a length or two. Indian Cigar is next, and then comes Nanseford Shore. It's just dropped off them at the back of the field, so the pace just increases. Ludwig and the Fabulous Bucks from Sailing By and Brendan Powell in third place. Can You Hear Me continues to improve. Wider out Bells of Ufford. Inside route for Locked Down Lad, the black cap. Then the grey Izzy's Grey. Hidden Target now improves again with Indian Cigar. She's on the move as well for Joe Anderson. And then comes Nanseford Shore as they make the turn. Back towards the side of the track. They've got these 3 left to jump in the home straight, but still a long way to go. Ludwig just about in front now from Le Fabulous Bucks on the inside for Sean Bowen. Racing in third place, Bells of Ufford in the light green and yellow. Then comes Locked Down Lad, who's just manoeuvred off the rails. Sailing By is the one who's lost a few placings now. Is driven along. On the inside, Hidden Target's getting closer. Going wider, Can You Hear Me? And Indian Cigar is also improving well now on the outside for Joe Anderson as they head towards the third last. Ludwig, Bells of Ufford in second. Here comes Indian Cigar moving stylishly towards the left-hand side of the picture. On the right is Le Fabulous Bucks. And then Izzy's Grey from a ridden along Locked Down Lad, and then Hidden Target and sailing by. All change up front. Indian Tagare and Can You Hear Me have now gone on from Bells of Ufford. Ludwig now caught out when they quickened, back in 4th place. And the mare, Indian Tagare, has gone on. From the back, Nansford Shore is making up pretty stealthy headway into about 4th place. Is absolutely flying along now as they head down towards the last. Indian Tagare, Can You Hear Me? Towards the near side, Nansford Shore, and Ben Jones is still running on and looks a huge player now on the run towards the last. Indian Tagare, but here comes Nansford Shore from last to first. Oh, it has fallen! Nansford Shore, when looking likely to win, has got the last. Indian Tagare and Can You Hear Me will now fight it out. Indian Tagare near side, far side, Can You Hear Me? Indian Tagare, the Tiger's daughter, she's home. To Can You Hear Me in second. Third Hidden Target ran on. Then came Bells of Ufford from Ludwig and Izzy's Grey. Looking down the track, the jockey is up. Ben Jones, the horse, I'm afraid, is still down. Poor old Nansford Shore.
Yeah, mixed fortunes then for trainer Grace Harris. She was all set to get the forecast up there, but as that one came storming home, but was a 4 of the last. And Indian Tagare, who was already in the lead, has held on there in the end, a 5-1, landing the spoils there from Can You Hear Me and Hidden Target. So eventful that in the closing stages. And as I say, mixed fortunes for Grace Harris, but she's got the winner, Joe Anderson, on board. Indian Tagare, who gets a second course and distance victory. Toasters 428, or Willie Bill should be coming up in just a second. So last call for your bets there. Trap 6 is vacant and Trap 1 is the odds-on favourite. We were at Mahoning earlier. The 4:15 race, there was a multiple photo in the first race. I can tell you number 4, Lucky Phoenix, was the winner at Mahoning. That was the 4:15 Lucky Phoenix. The winner was 15-2. So that was the first race. Stateside, so it's that busy closer to home though. We'll be concentrating on the American action later on. 2 minutes to the off now. Warwick then for our latest visit. The 4:30 coming up. Handicap chase over 3 miles. Warwick 3-1 the field. The market leader being Dan Skelton's runner, Harry on board. Get up mush as the runners are down at the start. With that in mind, once again, we're going to cross over to the Willie Bill Racing Radio studio.
And it's been dropping slightly, very slightly, for some okay runs in softer ground than ideal at Doncaster. Now off mark 124. I think you'll go well today, New Order.
New order for John, and a very quick word, AT. You've gone with your enough here?
Yeah, I went with Get Up Mush because the horse has won around the trap before last year. He's £8 lower than his last winning mark. Better ground will definitely suit. And one or two of the others have been running well and going up in the weights. He's been coming down a fair bit. But you get the feeling this has probably been a target. You know, it's a final. It's a Challenger Stay and Chase Series final. There's just the 8 runners, but it's certainly competitive. It's good betting. I just thought he was the race that he won was probably slightly stronger than this, and he's £8 lower, so only 10-12. He's usually ridden with a bit of patience. There won't be in too much of a rush with him, and good to soft ground's ideal.
There you go then, so AT is napping in this one. Viva Dream is also 7-2. We've heard from John, who's going with New Order at 9-2. Yesterday, 13-2. Imperial Alex at 15-2. The famous 5 for Venetia Williams at 8. Pilston Penn at 9s. And Lord Accord is the 16-1 outsider in the field. After Warwick, we'll head over to Southall for the 4:37. We've got Clonmel's 4:42. And a couple more to come before the 5 p.m. mark as well. But AT, you are napping in this one?
Get Up Mush.
Get Up Mush, the market favourite at 100-30. And as John mentioned there, New Order 9-2, his selection. We're likely to see the flag here, so very last chance to place your bets at Warwick in this 4:33 miler. Very best of luck.
Yeah, you can see the flag raised there. Then just very quickly as well, Nancy Fordshaw is up okay after his tumble at Chepstow 4:20. So that's good news, isn't it? They are walking towards the safe start at Warwick for the 4:30. Best of luck with your bets.
They're off. So they race towards the first of 18 fences, and smartly into stride was New Order, who's up along the inside as they jump the first, and they are all over. New Order, Lord Accord. They settle down with an advantage of almost 2 lengths over Imperial Alex, with the famous 5 in the dark blue jacket to the outside. Greensleeves Pilsden Penn is on the rail. Then Fever Dream, chased by Get Up Mush, and yesterday the best turned out brings up the rear in this, the Challenger Staying Chase Series final, the JCB Handicap Chase. Long run now to the second fence, and it is Lord Accord and New Order. Those two front running. by about a length and a half to the famous 5, Charlie Deutsch on the outside. Imperial Alex is in the red and dark blue quartered silks between horses, with Pilsden Pen to the inner. Then Fever Dream, the man of Jack Tudor, yellow sleeves of Get Up Mush follows for Harry Skelton, and Yes Day is continuing to watch on as Lord Accord takes the turn and now runs down the side of the course. So they've gone a good half mile of their journey, and it is Lord Accord the leader from New Order, with the famous 5 racing wide of Imperial Alex, then Pilsden Pen, Fever Dream, Get Up Mush, and Yes Day is going to be the last one to take that fence. So they're now making the approach to the open ditch. The first of the ditches in the race, and it's Lord Accord, who was spring heel there. Lord Accord by around about 5 lengths, with the New Order second place. Then the famous 5 in third as they take another plain one. They're being followed over by Imperial Alex and Fever Dream to the outside, and Get Up Mush and Pilsden Pen, and Yes Day remains at the back, and Lord Accord's going into a bit of a rhythm down the side of the course, trying to stretch away by about 5 or 6 lengths, going to the final fence on this side, and it was Lord Accord again from New Order, who's about 6 lengths away, and then Imperial Alex, the famous 5, Fever Dream, Get Up Mush, Pilsden Pen, and finally Yes Day making the run to the turn in. Richie McClernand and Lord Accord top of the straight, over a circuit to go, still 2 miles to cover. Leads by about 5 lengths to New Order in the blue and pink colours, followed by the famous 5 and Imperial Alex, with Get Up Mush to the running rail. Fever Dream is following. Pilsden Pen is racing to the left, and Fever Dream who's up along the inside of Pilsden Pen, and Yes Day the back marker. Final fence this time round looms up, and it is still Lord Accord. Coming to it, shortens up. Lord Accord over. They're all safely across that one. New Order just got a bit tight in second place. The famous 5. And Charlie Deutsch on the outside of Imperial Alex. Then Fever Dream, who's between runners. Get Up Mush on the running rail for Harry Skelton. Pilsden Pen, Sam Twist and Davis Green Sleeves is 3 wide. And Yes Day and John Joe O'Neill Jr. is at the back as they set out for their final circuit and go to the 9th. So it is Lord Accord around the turn. The lead greatly reduced to a couple of lengths now from a New Order. Lord Accord over. New Order, Imperial Alex, the famous 5, Get Up Mush, and then Fever Dream as they go on now towards this next fence, which is the open ditch. And at the ditch there, Lord Accord, he's been jumping well in front, dare one say it, from New Order. And then Imperial Alex, the famous 5 to the wide outside. Get Up Mush, creeping up the inner, taking much closer order. Fever Dream, Pilsden Pen the next 2, and Yes Day is still in last place with about 1.25 miles to cover. So they're on this long run now to the 12th fence. They have got 7 fences to negotiate. Lord Accord, who was about 6 clear at one stage, is only about 3/4 of a length in front. New Order second, and then around about 2 lengths away to a wave of 3, the famous 5 Imperial Alex and Get Up Mush, being followed by Fever Dream and Pilsden Pen, with Yes Day at the back, just nudged along a little bit there. Yes Day by John Joe O'Neill Jr. as they head towards the turn at the mile marker. So it is Lord Accord being joined now by New Order as they take the turn to face up to the 12th fence. The famous 5 is holding third. Get Up Mush 4. Imperial Alex next, followed by Pilsden Pen, and then Fever Dream, and a few lengths away to Yes Day, who just nudged along for a few strides. So it is Lord Accord and New Order coming towards this next plain one, and both jockeys asking their mounts for a big one, and it is Lord Accord on the inside of New Order as they make the run now towards the open ditch, and it's New Order, Lord Accord, the famous 5. Get Up Mush nipping up the inside, taking much closer order as they go towards this next fence. New Order, the famous 5, followed by Get Up Mush, Lord Accord, Fever Dream, Imperial Alex, Pilsden Pen outpaced, and so too is Yes Day. New Order, the famous 5. Those two over that one together, that was 4 out. The famous 5, New Order, Get Up Mush just in behind from Fever Dream, then Lord Accord, Imperial Alex. They've kicked away from Pilsden Pen, and and then Yes Day. So they're inside the last half mile. 2 fences left to jump in the Challenger Spain Chase Final. Top of the straight, and it is the famous 5 who goes for home, but Fever Dream is coming there very nicely for Jack Tudor. Pushed along behind Get Up Mush in the hands of Harry Skelton. Being chased by New Order, then Imperial Alex. The inside Lord Accord has lost ground. Second last fence is now jumped. That was a terrible jump from Get Up Mush, and it's Fever Dream being produced on the outside, heading towards the final fence, and Fever Dream was really good at the last. Get Up Mush second place, and then the famous 5 followed by Lord Accord, and Fever Dream has gone for home and has gone 6 lengths clear and will take the Challenger Staying Chase Series final. The JCB Handicap Chase goes to the master of the Staying Chasers, Christian Williams. Fever Dream the winner. Get Up Mush second, Lord Accord third, and fourth the famous 5.
That's the way they've come home, and Fever Dream there making the most of bottom weight there on the Jack Tudor. Spring-heeled at the last, Gets Up Mush fluffed its line somewhat there. Chased it home in second, though. Lord Accord was third. Is the 1, 2, 3. Right, no time to go over to the William Hill Racing Radio studio for a look at this contest at Southwell, because as you can see, they're nearly all locked away. So last call for your bets if you are at the counter. Number 2 is the favourite at the moment. Jack Jones's Wild Cop, who looks to back up that win from 3 weeks ago. Start Me Up on 9 to 4 for Richard Spencer. Billy Loughnane in the saddle. 5 to 1 then for the top one, Numero 20. 20. Holly Doyle on board Archie Watson's charge, and bigger prices for the rest. SP's quickly at Warwick, 7 to 2, 3 to 1 favourite, and 16 to 1 just to confirm their number 8. Fever Dream was the winner at Warwick. We're nearly ready at Southwell, aren't we? You can just see one out the back there. That's Fairy Isle in the green colours. Joe Levy up for James Evans with his 4:37, and on the back of this we're going to be concentrating once again on events over in Ireland as we cross back over to Clonmel for the next race on the card there coming up, and that'll be the 4:42 at Clonmel. Sound Judgment currently the 15 to 8 favourite there, Gordon Elliott's charge, but this final one to go in at Southwell just playing up a little bit at the start. Was a winner a couple of months ago when last seen. He's making a handicap bow here off bottom weight. We've just seen a in that race just a moment to go. In that race just a moment ago at Warwick. Blindfold going on now on Fairy Isle. Wiley Cop then these. Riley Rock still in Cooner's charge. Looking at Dave Probe at a double was successful when last seen. That was 2.5 months ago. That this last one to go in Fairy Isle, who's causing a little bit of a kerfuffle down at the start there. Got the blindfold on. Also a winner when last seen. So from that point of view, plenty of winning form. Walking forward, half in. And Southwell then for this, the 4:37 race 6 on the card. 6 furlongs ahead of them for a Class 4 handicap. One last shove should do it. And go to the track.
The Reed McNichols blog at betmgm.co.uk handicap. They leave the stalls. Harswell Angel was a little tardy into stride. Out well include Fairy Isle on the inside of Start Me Up, and wider out Numero Van for Holly Doyle is going to cut across. A little wider out, Wild Cop also takes a handy position. Harswell Angels recovered to 5th. Riley Rocks and Horridge, as into the turn it's Numero Van who leads. Numero Van from Fairy Isle. In second place now is Wild Cop, who moves up on that one's outside. Start Me Up races in 4th from Harswell Angel. Riley Rocks pushed along in 6th place, and Horridge racing keenly is under restraint. So having got to the front, Holly Doyle now trying to stack them up on Numero Van. Wild Cop races in 2nd place. Start Me Up angles out towards the centre of the racecourse as they peel off the home bend. Fairy Isle comes next. On the extreme left is Riley Rocks, then Harswell Angel and Horridge. So up the home straight they head. Numero Van with in the centre Wild Cop in the black jacket. Start Me Up. The extreme left Riley Rocks trying to get on terms. Fairy Isle is still there as well. Harswell Angel trying to join in. Over a furlong still to go, and it's Wild Cop in the centre. Near side Riley Rocks coming home very strongly. Riley Rocks on the outside of Fairy Isle as they go up towards the line. Fairy Isle and Riley Rocks going towards the line. It's going to be Riley Rocks for a double for David Probert. Beats Fairy Isle. In 3rd place was Wild Cop. Harswell Angel was next from Start Me Up and Horridge.
Well, there were plenty with chances with a furlong and a half to go. They were spread across the track, weren't they? And Riley Rocks in the end. Dave Prober just pulled out a bit more on Dylan Coon's charge on the near side to see off Fairy Isle, who caused a little bit of a delay, but ran a decent race. It was quite close for third there. Wiley Cop, Hector Crouch did finish in third place, though. So that's the 1, 2, 3. Riley Rocks the winner, Fairy Isle second, and third for Tricar's purposes only. That's third home was Wiley Cop, because we did have a non-runner there. Number 4, VAR didn't go. Now, on Williamville 2, Dunstall Park 441. They're going behind loading into the traps for that. So a D2 spring coming up there. So last call for your bets. Meanwhile, Clonmel 442. There they are, assembling near the start now at Clonmel for this contest. Sound Judgment 15 to 8. 3's Early Bird. Tangara Bay's 100 to 30. And it's 13 to 2 and bigger for the others. SP the Southern winner was 6 to 1, 6 to 1 for the winner at Southern. Right, time for us now to concentrate on Clonmel. They are off on Williamville 2 for that race at Dunstall Park, but let's go back to the Williamville Racing Radio studio as the last of the runners reaches the start at Clonmel.
Galileo Dame, who beat Sound Judgment last time, has a flat mark of 90. So, good opportunity to get off the mark here, and especially in this opportunity. They call them opportunity hurdles in Ireland. It's a conditional race. So Josh Williamson, he can claim 2 in here, which lightens the load a little for this mare. And yeah, plenty of experience in the saddle, and should be difficult to beat.
Well, actually done really well here at Clonmel, because it looked like they might be a bit further off, actually, but in the end they're going to go off pretty much bob on. So fair play to them over in Ireland. Clonmel's 442. As we're pretty much ready to go. Good luck with your bets here.
White flag raised, and they're off. The Adair Manor Opportunity Mare's Maiden Hurdle. 2, 3 is the trip. They jumped the first of 12 flights. And it is Miss Georgina speaking the lead early on, with Early Bird. In between those two is Tangata Bay, followed by Sound Judgment. Is this the one? And Lady Aquarelle on the inside of Mind the Steps, followed to the second flight by Chautauqua. On the outer is Windy Grey, and then Jury Bell, My Silver River Field, and Sayers Express. On to flight number 3, Tangata Bay, from Miss Georgina, Sound Judgment, Early Bird. Improving on the outside is Windy Grey as they reach their final 2 miles, and hurdle 4. Tangata Bay just in front from Miss Georgina, Sound Judgment. On the inside is Early Bird, then Windy Grey. Chautauqua next. And is this the one alongside? Over 3 lengths back to Lady Aquarelle. And Jury Bell next, and Mind the Steps, My Silver River Field, and Sayers Express. Running downhill. Good run to the 5th flight. Tangata Bay, Paddy O'Brien lead by 3 parts of a length to Miss Georgina. Tin and Power Roach. Sound Judgment, Josh Williamson. Share third with Early Bird and Philip Donovan. Is this the one on their heels? James Smith, and then Chautauqua, Windy Grey, Judy Bell, Lady Aquarelle, My Silver River Field. Losing ground, Mind the Steps is now 1 from last, and still trailing the field is Sayers Express. Well bunched, coming on to flights 5 and 6 in the home straight. It is Tangata Bay, Miss Georgina, Sound Judgment, followed by Early Bird and Chautauqua, moving up to the leaders. Then is this the one? Windy Grey, Jury Bell, My Silver River Field, Lady Aquarelle, Mind the Steps, and Sayers Express. There's a change of leader as Chautauqua goes on from Tangata Bay, Miss Georgina and Sound Judgment, and Early Bird, and is this the one? Jury Bell next, and Windy Grey and My Silver River Field. The final 3 with a second to go. Lady Aquarelle, Mind the Steps, and Sayers Express. Making the bend just outside the halfway stage. Chautauqua, Michael Keneally. Lead uphill To the 6th last flight, Tangata Bay and Miss Georgina, then Sound Judgment. Early Bird, Is This the One, and Windy Grey next. And then Jury Bell and Lady Aquarelle, My Silver Feelers, two behind Mind the Steps, and Sarah's Express. Heading up the back straight with a little over a mile to go. And 5 flights remaining. It's Chautauqua by less than 2 lengths to Tangata Bay. Miss Georgina, they're together 2nd and 3rd. Sound Judgment has never been too far off them, and then Early Bird. And on the outside is Jury Bell, and then Is This the One? Gone clear from the remainder. At the next one in the back straight, Chautauqua. Miss Georgina, Sound Judgment, and Tangata.
Loading in quickly at Mahoning for the 4:43 on William Hill 2. Last call for bets there. Back to Clonmel.
This is the one. 3 to go. The Adair Manor Opportunity mares made the hurdle. It's Chautauqua the leader. From Tangata Bay, Miss Georgina and Sound Judgment. This quartet covered by 3 lengths. Followed by Early Bird, Jury Bell, and Is This the One? Turning at the top end of the back straight is Chautauqua by just over a length. So Miss Georgina edging 2nd from Tangata Bay. Sound Judgment now squeezed along to take closer order than Early Bird. Both in touch, Jury Bell, and Is This the One? Running round the home turn. 3 furlongs to go and 2 flights to jump. Chautauqua, Tangata Bay, Miss Georgina, and Sound Judgment, followed by Early Bird and Jury Bell. 3 lengths to Is This the One? Trying to stay on from last is Sarah's Express. Tangata Bay has just regained the lead from Miss Georgina's Sound Judgment, followed by Early Bird. Chautauqua falls back. Then Jury Bell, Is This the One, and Sarah's Express. But it is Tangata Bay and Paddy O'Brien gone back into an advantage of a couple of lengths, followed through by Early Bird and Miss Georgina. And then Sound Judgment on the run of the final flight. It's Tangata Bay from Miss Georgina and Early Bird. At the final flight, Tangata Bay into it, and didn't she jump well? In 2nd place is Miss Georgina and then Early Bird. They're scrapping out for 2nd and 3rd. It's Tangata Bay winning by 3. Early Bird, best of the rest, and Miss Georgina.
Actually, 1, 2, 3, Tangara Bay for Henry de Bromhead and Patrick O'Brien there. Early Bird did stay on into 2nd to grab the runners up from Miss Georgina. But Tangara Bay is the winner, and that was the 4:42 at Clonmel. They've just finished at Mahoning for the 4:43. The favourite one, that number 6, What's Going On, was the winner at Mahoning Valley. That was for the 4:43. You'll find the slips in the dispensers, of course, for the numbers games, including the 49s draw. You can see that about to unfold on William Hill 2. We're going to concentrate on more jumping action from Chepstow, and there's an added bonus, an extra place race coming up here at William Hill. So the 450 at Chepstow on the way next. 4 places instead of 3. Now, we do have a warm order favourite, Harry Dedham's runner, Cristello, but there's plenty more to choose from. Cristello was 11-8. Blue in the West is 11-2. It's 17-2 then for Breeden Hill, Dart, and 9-1 and bigger for the remainder then. So big field here, 15 of them, as I say, 4 places instead of 3, so an extra place up for grabs, and lots of decent prices if you take out Cristello, a winner last time out, and is a warm order favourite then. The runners well on the way down to the start right now, including Jack's Jury there, the grey, under Callum Pritchard. That'll just be reaching the start. So good luck with your bets, everybody. What's going to win it, though? Let's see if we can get an insight from the William Hill Racing Radio studio.
Weekend up at Musselburgh, like I said, it could be attractively in, but I'll go with Clondor Royale here for Benjamin Mercy and John Joe. Clondor Royale, who's shown a good level of ability, managed to win the time before last. The yard's going well. Obviously, those couple of winners at the Cheltenham Festival was behind Sparkling Duke on heavy ground there last time out. And I don't think the horse necessarily has to have heavy ground. It's just on the easy side round there today. Likes to be ridden up with the pace. Flashy looking grey. And you certainly won't miss him by Jukebox Jury. Has showed a good level of consistency so far this season. And off this mark of 103, still competitively in. One off 105 at Haydock there around about 15 months ago. And I'd say that just the way the Yards horses are running, for a 7-year-old, I think there could be more to come.
Decent price there as well, 18-1 at Clondor Royale there. That is AT selection. I think we've been waiting on, is that Lion of the Desert we've been waiting on to join the rest of the group?
And Richardson, I think, down at the bottom as well. They spot him a mile off.
So we've just been waiting on a couple to join the rest of the gang here. Cristello, the 11 to 8 market favourite, but AT suggesting very completely that Cristello a little bit short. 11 to 8 perhaps here. Blue in the West at 6 to 1. Bredenhill Dart at 8 to 1. And bigger the rest at Chepstow. 450. We might well be getting ready to go. We might just collect Richardson on the way.
One thing you can see here, there's going to be plenty of pace on. We've got 12 abreast heading to the start in this 2 mile 7 contest. You know, it's one of those races where they'll need to be coming in steady because they won't be let go if they're not. But yeah, I think Clondar, I think just overpriced.
Yeah, 18 to 1. AT's selection here. Very best luck with your bets at Chepstow. There'll be a 5 o'clock at Southall en route as well. We'll hear from John on that one very shortly. But Chepstow 450, I think we're pretty much there. Very best of luck with your bets in this.
Yeah, just before they set off, just very, very quickly, football bets as well. Just make a note, one of the World Cup playoff semi-finals, Turkey versus Romania, kicks off at 5 o'clock. So if you want to include that amongst your ACCAs, the Turkey game kicks off at 5 o'clock. Right, they are walking forward at Chepstow. Good luck.
Begin the contest. And they're approaching the starter. And they're off. This is the NFRC Southwest Roofing Industry handicap hurdle. Up there early on is Rodney Bay towards the inside of Clondor Royale. Just seen them get over the first. Early back marker is Blue in the West in the noseband. As up front it is Lion of the Desert, who leads on the outside narrowly from Rodney Bay on the inner. Racing in third place, the Italian Fox in the dark blue. Then the grey Clondor Royale racing in fourth. The favourites on the inside, Cristello. The white sleeves and cap, the orange jacket is upsides. Also in orange colours, Northern Symphony. Then comes the red and yellow of Devon Dude, who's on the inside of Tiori in the stripe colours of dark blue and red. Racing wider of those, the white cap next in the field. That's Colby Mayfield, who's upsides the yellow and blue of Colonial Empire. As they continue their journey back towards the home straight. Further back in the field at this stage to find the light blue of Jack's Jury, the grey on the inside of to the outer Breedenhill Dart. Then comes No Rematch, the white-faced Richardson. The early back marker is Blue in the West, who's quite a long way behind the front two. Patiently ridden by Sean Bowen, horse with the sheepskin noseband, the black and orange chevron jacket. Meanwhile, the leader, Lion of the Desert, double-seeking Joe Anderson. A mistake as well by Blue in the West there. He just dived at that hurdle. The back marker stays in the race as Lion of the Desert leads Rodney Bay. Third place for the Italian Fox. And then on the inside is Cristello, who's well placed at this stage. The hot favourite is upsides Northern Symphony.
Yeah, they're all over that one. They're going to be off in just a second on William Hill 2 for the first race. The 450. They'll be off in a second. Meanwhile, back to Chepstow.
The white chevron, the stars on the sleeves, and the light blue of Jack's Jury. The dark blue and red of Tiori. Just nudged along there is Devon Dude on the inside, the red and yellow. Not really travelling for Harry Cobden. Wider out, Breedenhill Dart has made a place. And then No Rematch from the white-faced Richardson as they jump the hurdle. That will be the last next time around. And again, he was chancy at the back there, Blue in the West. And he's a long way last, and second last at the moment is Devon Dude. So Harry Cobden and Sean Bowen, the two of them at the tail of the field as they head past us here in the stands with a circuit to go. And the Lion of the Desert has about a half-length advantage over Rodney Bay on the inside. And third place then is the Italian Fox. The leader, not too sure about the bend there. Fourth place for Northern Symphony. Fifth for Clondor Royale. In sixth is Cristello, who's racing on the inside. As they go down the back, then comes Colby Mayfield from the blue and yellow of Colonial Empire. Then a gap to Tiori, who's upsides Jack's Jury. Wider out is Breedenhill Dart. Then No Rematch from Richardson. They're ridden along still, Devon Dude. And finally, Blue in the West, who's ridden quietly at the back of the field. Heading down the back straight towards the next hurdle. Flight 5 of the 11 will be next. This race just shy of 3 miles. And the leaders are still Lion of the Desert and Rodney Bay. Close up, though, in third, the Italian Fox. Wider out Clondor Royale. Then comes even wider Colonial Empire. Northern Symphony and Colby Mayfield are next from...
They're all over that one. Number 3, Royal Retinue, has just come out on top of Gulfstream in the first race there, the 450. Number 3, Royal Retinue, the winner, once again back to Chepstow.
Jack's Jury. Richardson is next from Breeden Hill Darts, and still at the back, these two really struggling. Devon Dude and Blue in the West. On the outside, has just gone past Devon Dude, who's now the back marker. Continue their journey down the far side, last down the back. Up front now, making ground, the Italian Fox on the outside of Rodney Bay. Also on the move is Colby Mayfield to go a much closer 4th. Then Northern Symphony. No move yet from Paul O'Brien on board the favourite Cristello. On the inside of the grey, Clondor Royale. Then comes Colonial Empire, who's still in the race, from Jack's Jury, the light blue. And then comes No Rematch. On the inside is Tiori, followed by Richardson, the green and red. They make the run slightly downhill now, leaving the back straight behind them and heading towards the final 6.5 furlongs. And they've got 3 left to jump in the home straight. So up front, it's still Line of the Desert, with on the inside, Rodney Bay. They've got company now, though. Colby Mayfield 4 wide and 3 wide. The Italian Fox are very much on the improve. Cristello in 5th place, still going well. In no hurry here, Paul O'Brien. Then comes a ridden along Northern Symphony. Quite a few wide is Rodney Bay. Wider out, here comes Colby Mayfield and the dark blue of the Italian Fox. Still there is Line of the Desert. Then in 5th place, now asked to go and get the leaders, is Cristello over the 3rd last flight. So up front, on the far side, the Italian Fox in the dark blue. And all of a sudden, Cristello has come under pressure and hasn't found a great deal. As they head towards the 2nd last, the Italian Fox is galloping on strongly by about 4 lengths. The Italian Fox jumped that well. A mistake in 2nd by the tiring Colby Mayfield. Richardson's about to go 2nd, and also staying on his Jack's Jury. Nothing at all from Cristello as they head down towards the final hurdle, and the Italian Fox has a 7 or 8 length lead. To in 2nd place, Richardson, who is still running on. Also Jack's Jury, the grey now, starts to pick up ground as well in the light blue colours. A lot to do to catch the leader, who's got a handy break on the field. It's the Italian Fox and Brendan Powell at the last. The Italian Fox, he jumped it well and is now in no danger. It's the Italian Fox, clear by about 10 lengths, will win this easily. For Joe Tizard and Brendan Powell, the Italian Fox has absolutely bolted up in the end. Richardson 2nd, 3rd was Jack's Jury, just 4th Cristello, and 5th was Colby Mayfield.
Yeah, we were going 4 places as well here, you will remember, but no doubt about the runaway winner, Joe Tizard, runner of the Italian Fox under Brendan Powell. He's down near the finish for a comprehensive victory, then a distant 2nd. Richardson, that was the bottom one on the race card. Jack's Jury back in 3rd, and we heard the commentator mention there, Cristello was just 4th. But we'll get the 1, 2, 3, 4 all confirmed for you with the starting prices very, very shortly. Meanwhile, at Williamville 2, that non-stop greyhound action continues, and they are at the traps at Dunstall Park now for the 4:59. Warwick beckons, though. The 5 o'clock race there, the flat race, a junior national flat race, all the 4-year-olds. But you can see the runners down at the start. 9 to 4 the field. Nigel and Woody Tristan Davies. Ivor Bear, the market leader, with Sam on board. That's 9 to 4. Arabidia is a 3 to 1 shot. Alan King double-handed, and Tom Bellamy's been in great form in the saddle of late. He's on board Arabidia. San Argent is 4 to 1. Affinitive 11 to 2. 7 to 1. And bigger for the rest of them. Warwick then for the 5 o'clock. They all go for this, so 11 of them down at the start circling about. They'll be setting off in a minute or 2, so let's cross over once again to the Williamville Racing Radio studio.
Yeah, for me, I thought he'd want to take on at a short price, but I say he's done nothing but drift really in the build-up to the race. Of the ones that have run, I was quite taken with Arabidia on debut at Kempton. Was a little bit too far back for a lot of the race, but I like the way the horse moved through the race. And I was quite taken with his paddock appearance when I saw him going out onto the track. I thought he looked a really nice type for Alan King. So I'll make him the selection. Obviously, you always have a little bit of a look at Warren Greatrex's horses in these type of races. Hood first time, I wouldn't say it alarms me, but never fills me with joy. And also Warren's on a little bit of a quiet run at the minute. So, but they have got a good record, him and James Bowen, and the yard obviously want to note in bumpers. Henrietta Knight produces some nice types. Obviously saw Brendan Powell down there leading the horse out, but it looks not to take with him as well I was with Arabidia on looks, that's for sure. So I'm sticking with Alan King's horse, number 3, Arabidia.
Okay, Arabidia then for Alan King, who's also in good form at the moment. That's Charisma Cat winner Venevia final over at Newbury. Now the favourite here, Ivor Bear, is just playing up a little bit. Santos and Davis did have the feet out the irons, and it just looks a little bit awkward down at the start. But the starter has a flag raised. Let's get over to Warwick then for the finale.
Thanks, Stuart. So lining up, and they're off for the JCB Telehandler Junior National Flat Race, with Ivor Bear and Order Driven, the first two to show, with Affinitive Racing handily in the blue and yellow. Zote and Zuri to the left in the maroon and white jacket. Arabidia tracks their leaders alongside Crackerjack. Close to Me is next, and followed by the Honourable Norm. Coming down the straight first time round, Seven Kings Must Die is held up with Night Flyer for company, and off the pace is Saint-Argent. Saint-Argent just 2 or 3 lengths detached. So in front of the stands, and it is Ivor Bear, the leader by a half length. Order Driven second. 2 horses sitting at opposite ends of the betting market, going out of the straight ahead of Affinitive, with Zote and Zuri widest of all. White and red of Arabidia on the inside. Crackerjack in mid-division. Close to Me, the almost black colours out wide. Then the Honourable Norm, Seven Kings Must Die, and Night Flyer, and Saint-Argent is last of all. So they're going away from the stands, and on a full circuit of the course, it's Sam Twiston Davis and Ivor Bear, with Order Driven. Robbie Dunn looking to complete a first and last race double. He's aboard Order Driven in the maroon and light blue jacket. Widest of all is Zote and Zuri. Affinitive is handy, as is Arabidia on the inside. A horse attracted quite a bit of support beforehand. Crackerjack mid-division ahead of Close to Me. They're being chased by the Honourable Norm, light blue and red jacket, followed by Seven Kings Must Die. Night Flyer is currently held up in second last place, with the grey at the back, Saint-Argent. Right over on the far side, and it is still Ivor Bear who has the advantage. Ivor Bear by around about a length and a half. Ivor Bear being followed in second place by Order Driven, and then back in third is Arabidia. To the outside is Affinitive, and then still widest of all halfway, Zoto and Zuri. Crackerjack and Arabidia right there. Mid-division to Close to Me, followed by Seven Kings Must Die, the Honourable Norm, Night Flyer, and finally Saint-Argent. Going down the side of the course into the second half of the race, and it's Ivor Bear from Order Driven, with Arabidia and Affinitive on the case. They're being chased by Crackerjack as they gallop down the far side of the track. Back in mid-division now, Zote and Zuri just losing ground, being swallowed up at a rate of knots. Night Flyer remains at the back, and it is Ivor Bear from Order Driven to the outside. Crackerjack, Arabidia, Affinitive, all prominent. Close to Me also there. Saint-Argent the grey has now passed horses as they come down the side. Further back then to the Honourable Norm, who's just being squeezed along. Seven Kings Must Die, Night Flyer, they're following, and Zote and Zuri is last of all, scrimmaging around the turn, just losing its position. There was the Honourable Norm heading now towards the turn in, and it is Ivor Bear. But look at Saint-Argent, who sat at the back early, and between horses Affinitive in the blue and yellow. They flatten out for the finish. 2 furlongs left to go, and to the left it's Saint-Argent and Ivor Bear to the right. Those two from Affinitive, and then comes Arabidia. Night Flyer has stayed on from off the pace. A furlong left to go. Saint-Argent and James Bowen lead into the final furlong. Saint-Argent in front. Ivor Bear is coming again. Saint-Argent now tries to quicken up and does so towards the finish on the near side, and Saint-Argent's gone on to win. Ivor Bear second place, followed by Arabidia and Night Flyer.
Yeah, good finish, wasn't it? With the assistance of that near side rail, though, James Bowen on Saint-Argent. It makes a winning debut at odds of 5-1. So 5-1 for the winner, Saint-Argent. Ivor Bear had been up there throughout. Sam Twiston Davies getting a renewed effort from his man, but it wasn't enough. It's chased it home, and Alan King double-handed. Best of his Arabidia, and Tom Bellamy back in third. That was John Babb's pick. But Saint-Argent, the winner, 5-1. A hood on for the first time. Did slightly put the guys off in the William Racing Radio studio, but it was a good performance by the winner. Well related indeed on the dam side to the likes of Jacques Dam. So Saint-Argent the winner. Right, on the Williamville 2, Greyhound action, Toasters 5.06 will be happening in about a minute or so. We've been covering Southall all afternoon, and the 5.07 is nearly upon us now. SP's from Warwick, 5-1, 2-1 favourite and 3-1. In Suspense is just favourite at the moment. Had a string of second placings in Suspense. Holly Doyle's on board to try and get it to go one better. 130 now. 4-1 then for the bottom one, Beelzebub, Billy Loughnane. 9-2 then Ziggy's Angel, and 11-2 and upwards for the others at Southall for the 5.07. The 6 furlong handicap race 7 on the card. Then they are at the post. So once again we can cross over to the William Hill Racing Radio studio.
Beelzebub, who slipped down and bid money for the horse last couple of runs. He has to be on a short list. In Suspense has been a bit unlucky. He hasn't done anything wrong, I don't think, in finishing second in recent races. Does come from off the pace most of the time, which could be a little bit of a concern here. Other horses of note, obviously Travel Agent for Adam Kirby in the colours of his ex-driver Dudley Morgan. Would have to. He pulled off a massive gamble for Martin Dunn last year, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does it again for the sometime this year for Adam. Whether it'll be today, I'm not sure, but. Winchurch, another horse that's become well handicapped. The trouble with Winchurch is some of his races here, he hasn't always run that well here. But I do think one of these days it's all going to drop for him, and he'll be bolting in at one of the days off this mark. You got Good Earth, who I think will run better back round a bend after that performance last time at Newcastle, and Connor Planner's back on board again. Mike Harrington does really well with these types of horses, and I think he's not a bad price, to be honest. Good Earth each way. And of the bigger price ones, there's money for blackjack, but I'd probably be more having a little bit of a look at Rock of England, even though he hasn't done an awful lot on the all-weather as such yet. He's all his wins are on the grass, and the grass is just round the corner. But Paul Midgley's horse has been running a little bit better earlier in the year than we've talked about this on the show, where he always had a big spike from May onwards in winners. But this last few weeks, Paul's horse have been running well. Jason Hart on board would have to come into consideration at a price around about 20-1. So all in all, it's a tricky race. There's a few that are on my radar to be winning in the near future. The obvious one at the front is In Suspense, but I'll go each way with Good Earth.
Okay, Good Earth then each way for John, 7-1. Also give a good mention to an outsider here, Rock of England, 18-1. Now, if you were listening earlier in the show, Mr. Bab put something up a little bit similar at similar prices, and we got the forecast. So maybe that's something you want to follow in. Good Earth, 7-1. Backed in from 12s as well, so plenty of support around for that one. And Rock of England also each way at a big price. In Suspense is still your 5-2 favourite here. Ziggy's Angel, 4-1. Looking at Beelzebub, has he been withdrawn? I'm not too sure. He might not have been, unless something has just gone wrong here. Winchurch 6-1, 13-2 Travel Agent, Good Earth 7-1, 17-2 Ram Gloria, Blackjack 10s, 18-1 Rock of England, Dragon God 25-1. Now Beelzebub was supposed to be coming out of stall 6, and he was around a 4-1 chance, and I haven't seen him in screen yet.
Well, let's just confirm it has been withdrawn. I guess the guys haven't just latched onto that yet, but it has been withdrawn. Beelzebub, so there will be a rule for it. It was around about 4-1 when it got withdrawn. In Suspense is 100-30. Ziggy's Angel 9-2. Winchurch 15-2, and bigger prices for the others then. So just to confirm there, Beelzebub has been withdrawn. John Babb's gone each way. Good Earth. Michael Headington's runner. As loading up is underway, we look on Williamville 2. They are going down to the start now at Mahoning Valley for what is already their third race. Special Colette 11-10, Forever Flowing 5-2, 5-1 bar at Mahoning as they make their way down to the start. And on the Greyhounds, Central Park with the 5-12, their 10th race. Trap 5, a non-runner at Central Park. The dogs are out on the track for that. Horse racing wise, we have got Clonmel coming up in a few minutes' time at the 5-12 coming up there. Runners making their way down to the start right now, Clonmel. But Southall, Ziggy's Angel, Peter Farr, he's now joined his father Richard as joint trainer. Jack Gadderty on board, Ziggy's Angel for one of the Midland Park syndicates. And there is Ziggy's Angel out the back, been off the track 2.5 months, be all the better for the run. Quite well fancied though. In Suspense though, the market leader after that string of placed efforts, second on each of the last 4 starts. You're going to come out of stall 8 on the Holly Doyle. In Suspense, and there's 100-30 as the last of the runners, the remaining runners, is being locked away. Blackjack there for Alan Brown and Sean Curran, I think, is just about going to complete the lineup.
6th handicap. 9 runners after Beelzebub taken out when reaching the start. Early on, Travel Agent was slow away. Winchurch is fast out, pushed up his Blackjack to play a hand early. Wider out is Ziggy's Angel and trying to cut right across the white face of Rock of England. So Rock of England and Blackjack in the orange sleeves. A little bit tighter room. Ramon Deloria there as from the outside there was some pressure from Rock of England onto Ziggy's Angel. In 4th place at this stage is Ziggy's Angel. Ramon Deloria got unbalanced in that incident and is awkward round the turn as Good Earth improves and that one's inside. Then Dragon God, Travel Agent and In Suspense. Waiting Tactics as they make their way up the home straight now. It's Blackjack who leads the turn, attended by the white-faced Rock of England. In 3rd is Winchurch ridden along. Ziggy's Angel is in 4th place. Good Earth on the right-hand side is in 5th. Behind these, In Suspense switches towards the far side. Still has work to do. Blackjack, Winchurch and Good Earth. Rock of England, then Ziggy's Angel. Near side, Ramon Deloria. Right over on the far side, In Suspense still has work to do. It's old Good Earth who has the lead inside the final furlong from Winchurch and the grey Ziggy's Angel, but Good Earth out in front by over a length. In Suspense stays on over on the far side, but what a horse he has been. Good Earth, 97th career start, win number 15. Good Earth for Michael Harrington and Connor Planis. In Suspense, second yet again, living up to her name at the moment, with Winchurch next, and then behind these Ramon Deloria, who met trouble in the run.
And yet another winning selection for John Babbitt, the Bullyville Racing Radio studio. I've lost count of how many he's tipped up today, and they haven't all been sure price favourites either. That one 7-1, Good Earth, coming out on top. John Babb's selection there for you after the Southall 507. Good Earth, the winner. In Suspense, second again, and Winchurch third. Just to make a note, though, there will be a Rule 4 after that withdrawal earlier of Beelzebub. I'll just give you the Harebell from Central Park on Bullyville 2. 7-1, 11-4 favourite, and 6-1 the full SPs from Southall for the 507. Meanwhile, we've got action coming up from Clonmel now to wrap things up there today. The 512 Division penultimate race there, Division 1 of a handicap hurdle over 2 miles and 3 furlongs. 5-2 the field. Corprack Boy, a winner last time out. John Shinnick on board, currently the market leader at Clonmel. There's the full screen for you then with the runners down at the start. So a quick word from the Whitney Mill Racing Radio studio.
Go to post here. Looks extremely tricky. Corkback Boy is your 5-2 favourite. 130 Uncle Gerhard. Bigger prices. The rest, Andrew Thornton is on this one. This looks tricky.
A nod and a wink, I think, is very interesting. JP's hasn't shown an awful lot so far. First run the handicap today. Only a 5-year-old. But to me, looks stripping fit. Owen Walsh takes the ride. Plenty of experience in the saddle. And I just think that's, off the right kind of mark over this kind of trip. I think we'll see a little bit more. Point form from 5 runs back doesn't read too badly in the context of the race. And you've been running in some pretty warm maiden hurdles over 2 miles and 2 mile 3.5. Gaining experience along the way, so I'll go with a nod and a wink each way.
Yeah, nod and a wink, really interesting. By Max, yourself a Galileo mare, 94 for handicap debut here in the JP McMahon Stills for Kieran Murphy, who has been having a decent enough season as well. He does have a good horse over in Ireland as well, and that is trying to
see. But this is where with these kind of horses, this is where they gain so much experience in 25 running.
Absolutely.
You're in and amongst horses. You've got loads of kickback. So when they do go in a handicap for the first time, they've got that experience under the belt, and you're in a different grade. You're taking on horses rated 125 and 130 in a 0 to 130. I like the way he's lining up here, and it's he's, like I said, breeding wise.
It should be much better than what he is.
I know Walsh knows the horse inside out.
Yep, certainly does, and going to be up there handy. Just a 5-year-old as well, coming up against some exposed types. Looks like they're jogging forward. Hopefully we'll get a goer here, and let's start on the bend. That's been brought into a bit of controversy over the last couple of weeks. Here we go. It's a straight line, just one playing up towards the outside. Starter's about to raise his flag. They're off and running. Let's go to Clonmel.
Division 1 of the Glenry Handicap Hurdle, 2 miles 3 furlongs. Uphill they go to the first of 12. Courtbrack Boy, followed by Uncle Gerhard. prominent is Le 10, tracked by Bite That, and Not in a Wink. On the outside is Listen to the Lady, and then the top weight Silent Guardian. Flight number 2, one of 3 in the back straight, over which the leader was Courtbrack Boy. Bella Union blundered towards rear division. Courtbrack Boy.
They are off at Mahoning Valley, by the way, on Willie Bull 2, and at the post in France at Shanty. Off at Mahoning Valley, and as they clear the next to Clonmel, we'll go back there.
Lady and Bite That. And they're followed inside the final 2 miles by Silent Guardian, and then Lucky Crystal. Larkin's Lane on the outside have Embraced the Day, and then Ballinabula Gold, Bella Union, Lake Okeechobee, Falcon Park, Ixie Gressid, and Finicky Filly. They've just completed their jumping in the back straight on this first circuit. Courtbrack Boy stretches his lead to over 4 lengths, Le 10 second. In third is Listen to the Lady from Uncle Gerhard, and Silent Guardian and Bite That in the Northern Wing. Lucky Crystal, Embrace the Day. Round them is Larkin's Lane, then Ballinabula Gold and Bella Union, Lake Okeechobee, Falcon Park, Ixie Gressid, and Finicky Filly. Running downhill for the 2 flights in the straight. Courtbrack Boy, John Shinnick, nicely cleared of the peg. Le 10, Dan King just second from Listen to the Lady, Joanna Walton. Away to the inside in the stripes, Uncle Gerhard. On this side, Bite That with Silent Guardian, and then Larkin's Lane. Lucky Crystal and Not in a Wink, and Embrace the Day next. On to flight number 5. Courtbrack Boy, the leader. Comes into jump it from Le 10. Listen to the Lady, Silent Guardian, Uncle Gerhard, and Bite That, and Larkin's Lane. Then Not in a Wink. Lucky Crystal, Embrace the Day in Falcon Park, Bella Union, Ballinabula Gold, Lake Okeechobee, Ixie Gressid, and Finicky Filly. Very few changes, finishing next time as they return to their point of departure. Division 1 of the Glenry Handicap Hurdle. Courtbrack Boy up to the bend by 3 to Le 10, and Silent Guardian improving into third. Uncle Gerhard next, dropping 2 places back to 5th. Listen to the Lady. And then a Nod in the Wing, Bite That, and Lucky Crystal, Embrace the Day, and Ballinabula Gold, and Larkin's Lane, and Bella Union, Lake Okeechobee, Ixie Gressid, Falcon Park. Finicky Filly has always been the back marker. Coming inside the halfway stage, 5 flights left to jump. Courtbrack Boy in front from the outset. Leads by 2 lengths to Le 10, and then Silent Guardian. Uncle Gerhard and Listen to the Lady, and Nod in the Wing, and Bite That, and Ballinabula Gold next with Lucky Crystal, Ixie Gressid, and Embrace the Day, Bella Union, Lake Okeechobee, Larkin's Lane, Finicky Filly, Falcon Park. 4 left to jump. Courtbrack Boy, followed by Le 10. And Silent Guardian over the middle flight in the back straight, then Uncle Gerhard. And then comes a Nod in the Wing. 3 left to jump. Courtbrack Boy, Le 10 has chased the leader throughout, and then Silent Guardian. Uncle Gerhard, Listen to the Lady, and a Nod in the Wing next. Finishing off, they're jumping in the back straight. Good run out of the second last. It's Courtbrack Boy, followed by Silent Guardian, improving to just go second from Le 10, then Uncle Gerhard. A rapid improver is Ixie Gressid. And then Listen to the Lady and Ballinabula Gold, and Not in a Wing, and Bite That, and then Lucky Crystal and Finicky Filly and Embrace the Day. Larkin's Lane, Falcon Park, Bella Union, Lake Okeechobee. Still putting in a good shift is Courtbrack Boy from Silent Guardian. Then Le 10 joined for third by Uncle Gerhard, gone 5th, Ixie Gressid, and then Ballinabula Gold. Listen to the Lady and Bite That, and Falcon Park from off the pace stays on. And then comes Larkin's Lane and Not in a Wing, and Embrace the Day in Bella Union, facing the second last. Courtbrack Boy coming there in between horses, Silent Guardian. Making it 3 in a line is Uncle Gerhard, followed by Le 10 and Ixie Gressid. Arriving at the second last, and it is Silent Guardian, the top weight, and Uncle Gerhard who race on. From the long-time leader, Courtbrack Boy, and then Le 10 and Ixie Gressid. It's Silent Guardian and Conor Brassel leading now. Approaching the final flight, it is Silent Guardian up and over. From Uncle Gerhard, Courtbrack Boy, and Le 10. Silent Guardian, the top weight, is winning in good style. for Anthony McCann, ridden by Conor Brassel. Uncle Gerhard second, the 10 third, and finishing up fourth in the end was Courtbrack Boy.
Yep, and 18-1 for the winner there. Silent Guardian is the winner there. We'll have to tidy up the full result when we get to it then, because as you can see, they're already off and away now. Chepstow stick to the board, the ex-Irish point-to-point. First off, Paul Nicholls is the favourite. Let's join them there.
Jewel Rocco with the gold cap, and racing just in behind those is the market leader. Stick to the board in the blue cap. Out wider is Jukebox Rock, who's on the move in the purple and red. They're followed in behind by Tell Us When in green colours, and the yellow and dark blue of Trig is next in the field from Rocco by maroon and beige, and then back towards the inside of those we have Shaw Rocco, and then Mariniere is towards the rear. Mariniere in the orange, and also at the back is Igor Flight, the yellow sleeves and cap. In the middle it's Valiant Soldier now, just about in front. On the inside, Lord Duguay. Wider out, Stick to the Board, and Harry Cobden, the white with the blue cap. Racing in fourth is Jukebox Rock and Ben Jones. And behind that is Trig, followed by, on the inside, Rocco by in the maroon with the beige braces and cap. Tell Us When is in green towards the outside. Back on the inner, that's Shaw Rocco and Sean Bowen. Racing ahead of Mariniere and James Best. And then towards the back is Igor Flight and Ben Post as they make the journey down the back straight. And the leader just about Valiant Soldier, but Lord Duguay and Stick to the Board are both very close. Stick to the Board now within about half a length of the leader. They race down the far side. These front three are ahead of Trig, who's just fourth ahead of Jukebox Rock in fifth, and then in sixth place is Rocco By. Seventh on the inside is Shaw Rocco. Then comes Tell Us When from Mariniere, and then towards the back is Igor Flight, but all still in touch as they group up, approaching the midway point of the back straight. Valiant Soldier just in front. So on the outside, the improving Stick to the Board. Lord Duguay has just lost a length on the inside there, but still in the race for Gavin Sheehan, and now improves again. Followed by Jukebox Rock, and then comes Trig, who's ahead of Shaw Rocco and Rocco By. And Igor Flight, they really are packing up here. Pace yet to really lift as they head towards the end of the far side. So Valiant Soldier by a neck to Lord Duguay, who just came off the bridle briefly. Third place to Stick to the Board, still travelling in hand. And then in fourth is Jukebox Rock from Trig. Shaw Rocco and Mariniere is getting a bit closer. And then comes Tell Us When from Igor Flight. Just ridden along at the back now is Rocco By, who's lost her place. As the pace now starts to increase, they've got 6 furlongs to go and the home straight is ahead of them. And up front it is Valiant Soldier and Brendan Powell. On the inside, Lord Duguay. 3 wide is Stick to the Board. And then followed by Jukebox Rock, who's having to track out very wide in fourth, ahead of Trig in the yellow and dark blue. Eagle Flight making a bit of ground up as they head into the straight. Still a few chances. Lord Duguay poking through on the inside of Valiant Soldier. Stick to the Board, yet to be asked for any effort. Behind those is Trig, who's improving. And then comes Jukebox Rock, and then the ridden along Eagle Flight, and Shaw Rocco is struggling. As they head down now, with still 3 furlongs to travel. So on the near side, Stick to the Board. On the far side, Lord Duguay. And between them is Valiant Soldier. Still these 3, but now Harry Cobden just asked for a bit more from the Stick to the Board. He has gone on. Trig is making ground into 4th place as they head down inside the final 2 furlongs. Stick to the Board now asked to go and put his seal on the race. He leads by 2 lengths. He's found a bit as well, Stick to the Board. And he's opening up now to in second place, Lord Duguay. Still running on his Trig towards the near side. But the leader has gone clear, and that's Stick to the Board, who's now 5 or 6 lengths ahead. And Stick to the Board is going to create quite an impression here. A win for Paul Nicholls and Harry Cobden. Stick to the Board. Trig ran really well, chased him home in second. Back in third, Lord Duguay, and fourth was Valiant Soldier.
Yeah, the form of Stick to the Board's Irish point-to-point, in which your fellas worked out well, and principally in those Alex Ferguson colours there with Jed Mason, etc. Stick to the Board, Harry Cobden on board lands the spoils. Trig second, and back in third, Lord Duguay. That was the action from Chepstow. They're going to be off in a second at Gulfstream then for our next visit there. Marty's Galondi off 9-4, La Dinamita 5-2, and it is 4-1 and bigger for the rest of them. And there is the scene at Gulfstream. So last call for you. Best are going to jump out of the stalls any second now. Toaster 5:24. That's set on Willie Bill 2. As you can see there, they are off at Gulfstream.
Quickly from down toward the rail, these two race on. Away in between them, it's Triple Threat up to third. Then it's a cluster, including Mischief Motion, Bella Jack, Horseplay, and on the outside, Jayana. Second last and ridden is La Dynamita. The one way at the back is Shiloh. En route to the half-mile grounds, and Edgar Perez and Sobiek have moved up inside to take the lead by a length. Triple Threat second, Marty's Gal third. 4 lengths back to between horses and Bella Jack into fourth. Jayana's in the light blue on the far outside. At the rail, Horseplay from between Mischief Motion. The two at the back, La Dynamita and Shiloh. 22 and 3 for the opening quarter. The leader is Sobiek. In front by a neck. Here's Marty's Gal with a nice bit on the outside to take her on. Back to third and Triple Threat. 3 back to Bella Jack. Far outside Jayana. At the rail, it's Horseplay, and they're a quarter of a mile from home. They went to half in 46 and 3, and they're at the top of the stretch. Marty's Gal has the lead. On the far outside, Jayana tries to get a rally together. Sobiek is next with Horseplay. Final eighth of a mile. Marty's Gal driven out here with the 2-length lead. Outside Jayana with Horseplay inside. They come home for the wire at 2-1. Marty's Gal has a winning lead. It's Marty's Gal to win it, and win it by 3 in the end. Horseplay is up for second. Third is Jayana, and La Dynamita is up fourth at 1:12 and 3.
Yeah, Louis Sayers doing the steering there on number 8, Marty's Gal, who was well fancied at Gulfstream to win the 5:21. So the favourites has won there. And just a moment ago, we saw the even money favourite stick to the board well on top at the finish at Chepstow, and that was for the 5:20. Now we have got the evening coverage from Chelmsford due to begin 5:30 for the first race at Chelmsford. Moscow Power 6-5. The Untamed is 4-1 with Blue Deveron, and it's 5-1 and bigger for the rest of them. That is for the 5:30 race at Chelmsford. We'll concentrate on that in a second or two. But first of all, we have got a virtual race for you. Dusky Glory is the 7-2 favourite at Cantello Valley.
No more bets. We're ready for the start. They're off. One is out quickly and goes out to an early lead. Running in second is 6, who will be very happy with their break. Two has a lot of work to do, and it's lingering along at the back of the pack. The pace is strong as they leave the backstretch and start to turn. As they pick up the pace now, it's 1 out in front. Number 1 is handily positioned as they race the last of the turn. And they're off the turn and into the stretch. Spreading wide across the track as they kick for home. The rider can't come soon enough for 1 as he pushes for the line. And it's an impressive run from 1 who wins this race. And in second, it's 5. 9 takes third.
Yeah, 1, 5 and 9, 28-1, 9-2 and 7-2 the SP is that virtual race. But without further ado, let's concentrate on the opener at Chelmsford. It's the 5:30 race. Moscow Power's the even money favourite, and they are down at the start.
Next to the favourite in 3, but we've seen a very skimpy James Tate runner, should I say, turned over in a 3-horse race at Wolverhampton just the other night. He does have the excellent Callum Shepherd on board. 1 or 2 lucky price tags attached to a few of these, but the market is pretty cold on the bulk. And the Untamed is pretty solid, I suppose, on debut for the Richard Hannon team. But apart from that, we're getting very little steer from the market here. Very interesting, though, this may have to be Moscow Power, who, without a doubt, one of the best backed horses of the day.
Yes, certainly is. Now even money, and the money continues to come for him. So Moscow Power, first start since being gelded as well, but plenty of money coming in for this son of Sergei Prokofiev. He was a £30,000 purchase as yearly. That's Paddy Aspel's selection here. Andrew Thornton's selection is Blue Deveron, who's also coming for a little bit of support, now into 11-4 from 100 to 30, but nothing else has really been back. The Untamed 11-2, 15-2 Handale Beach, Romeo's Guardian 12-1 from 18, so a bit of each way support for that one. Sergeant Dennis 18, 22-1 is Militzi, Admiral Fellow 66s and 200 to 1 for Heaver Beauty, My Mate Mackley and Fenay Bridge. Last couple going forward then for our opener here at Chelmsford. Last chance to get your bets on Moscow Power is your well-supported favourite here at even money. For the first time tonight then, let's get over to Chelmsford for the call.
5 more to go. Hallandale Beach.
Yeah, 4 more left to go in there now. We have got American racing taking place. We've already been to Mahoning and Gulfstream. We have got Oaklawn Park starting very, very shortly. Saving Heart 11 to 8, Amentum 5 to 1, and 11 to 2 bar at Oaklawn for the first contest on the card there this evening. Greyhound wise, you can see on Williamville 2, Central Park with a 5:31. The Greyhounds are down there behind the traps. Not too many more left to lock away, so do get your pre-meeting bets on ahead of the start of the action from Chelmsford. Romeo's Guardian, Hugo Palmer's Charge out the back. And playing up there is My Mate Mackley. Adam Kirby now training these days rather than riding. Moving forward there is Militzi. Marcus Yarni up for Stuart Williams. That goes in, no problem whatsoever. But last couple to be locked away. My Mate Mackley just very much on its toes there on the Tyler herd down at the start. So this is the 5:30 race at Chelmsford. Romeo's Guardian will be moving forward principally in the Michael Owen colours. Cotter, Graham and Owen, the co-owners. Moscow Power 10 to 11 now, odds on the off. Blue Deveron's 11-4, 6 bar. Central Park on Williamville 2, 3 and 4 are slugging it out and into the closing stages. 3 on the far side, joined again close home there by 4. There wasn't much in it between the pair of them, 3 and 4 at Central Park in the 5:31. This My Mate Mackley still giving cause for concern. Is it going to be going in? The others are waiting. Let's go to the track.
Just waiting for My Mate Mackley, who's got the blindfold on him. He carries the colours of former Derby winning rider Adam Kirby, now training at Newmarket, already a winning trainer as well. He goes in, he's the last one in. Blindfold, he's just a bit restless, My Mate Mackley. Keep an eye on him in 4, set and off and racing. As they left the stalls, a little bit slowly away was Heaver Beauty. This then the British Stallion Studs EBF Restricted Maiden, and Hallandale Beach in the purple jacket broke nicely, comes across on the outside draw, takes on Blue Deveron for the advantage going down the back straight, being tracked by the favourite Moscow Power in the purple chevron and cap. On the inside is the Untamed in the blue and white colours. My Mate Mackley is next. Heaver Beauty recovering well behind them with Militzi in the striped jacket. Already this field are really well strung out, you know. Towards the back of the field on the inside then is Romeo's Guardian with Sergeant Dennis at the back of the field. A little bit outpaced then is Fenay Bridge and Admirable Fellow Very Green. Meanwhile, ahead of affairs, they come to the home straight. Out in front, Blue Deveron and Callum Shepherd, taken on by David Egan and Hallandale Beach down the centre. Up the inside, every chance there for Moscow Power in the hands of Jason Watson. Wider out there, the Untamed is packing a finishing punch. Inside the final furlong, it's Moscow Power just in front from the Untamed, and Moscow Power is powering away in the closing stages to justify the money today. Favourite goes in, Moscow Power from the Untamed, Blue Deveron, Hallandale Beach, and running on nicely.
Yeah, that's how they finished there. Then Moscow Power, the favourite, does it under Jason Watson. Let's pick them up now at Oaklawn Park.
Way he's done. Bolt's Treasure has a lot of work to do as they hit the quarter pole now. Fairhope still on the lead. Ripples Rocket in chase mode right behind. Fairhope down the lane in the white blaze leads the charge here. Ripples Rocket second. Amentum trying to get outside. He's coming after Fairhope, who's starting to get a little bit tired now. Amentum on the outside gaining good ground. Fairhope needs to find more. Here's Amentum gliding to the lead with a 16 to go, and it's Amentum. 12th time's the charm for Amentum for the Danny Pishbarn. He wins it going away by 3. Ripples Rocket second, Fairhope third, Joe Willie fourth across the finish.
Yeah, storm down there, didn't it? Number 8, Amentum. Number 8, Amentum wins the opening race at Oaklawn Park. That was their 5:30. Moscow Power, the 10-11 favourite, coming out on top a moment ago at Chelmsford. The Untamed shaped very, very nicely on his debut in second place, and the front-running Blue Deveron held on for third place at least. Hallidale Beach, I suppose, ran okay as well before fading, but Moscow Power gets favourite backers off to a good start. Right, we've got a double dose of virtuals on the second screen there. We can see Home Straight, but they're going to be off any second now at Spirit Valley for the 5:34. Off they go.
So off we go here. And it's Yasui in Article 1 Electro Bullet, but Yasui it is who's got the lead here as they race along towards the halfway point. Yasui in Article 1, followed by Swagart. Gurney Road behind those. And it's Yasui Electro Bullet, Lightning Speed, followed by Swagart. Steep Gully head to the final furlong here. Yasui and Swagart, followed by Electro Bullet, then Steep Gully. These are followed by Gurney Road and Lightning Speed. It's Yasui chased by Steep Gully. Swagart in third. Fourth is Electro Bullet. Yasui, Steep Gully. Swagart behind these, racing up towards the line. This one will go to number 5, Yasui.
Yep, Yasui beats Steep Gully and Swagart 12-1, 40-1, and 5-1. That was one virtual race, and from one to another, Home Straight, Diamond Doubles 5-4 favourite, Durham Dancer 4-1 and 6 bar at Home Straight, and they're just about set.
And away they go. Some jostling, but number 2 managed to escape a little bit. And one's come out running. Nothing much separating the field. 4's rallying on. 1's threatening to run a strong one. Plenty of horses still in with a chance. And as they come up towards the line, an impressive performance from 1 who takes the victory. 3 in second, and 4 takes third position.
Yeah, number 1 bat out of Elder winner at 15-2. Right, Dunstall Park 5:37. They're behind the traps, loading in. A2 contest down the card. 4, 11-2, 15-2, 4-2, and 9-4. King Farlap in trap 5. Strongly fancied to land at the spoils. Lightly raced individual of late. Didn't get the best of luck in running last time out in that A2. Stays in A2 here. Been going okay in its trials prior to that. Just needs a bit of luck in running. Starter checks, then waves the flag. Hares on the move. Momentum, the winner at Oaklawn a moment ago, was 11-2. 11-2, the Oaklawn winner. They're off at Dunstall, and 1 and 3 dispute the lead with 5 up on the outside, and 4, 2 and 6. 1's lost its place there and drops back, and as they make their way down the far side, it's 5 who's quickened and gone on now by 2 lengths from 3, and then 2, 4 and 1, and they're well strung out. 6 is right out at the back, but 5's got a handy lead here. 3 or 4 lengths clear from the others, headed by 3 and 2 as they turn in. 5 with the lead. It is coming back to them slightly, but surely he's got the race in the bag, and 5 quickens away in the closing stages to put the race to bed. Beats the 3, pretty close for third. Trap 5, the winner at Dunstall Park. King Farlap, as anticipated. Valley, the 5:39 coming up next, and the runners making their way over behind the boxes for race 12 at Valley this afternoon. We're going to be off to Clonmel soon to cover the 5:42 race there. If you look on William Hill 2, they are going down at Mahoning for their 4th race, the 5:39. As I say, we'll be concentrating on Clonmel soon with the 5:42. But Valley, trap 6 is vacant here. Odds on, trap 3, 4-7 for Croker's Lola, who absolutely bolted up last time out in the grade. There was a little bit of trouble behind, but nevertheless, it was a wide margin winner and stays in the grade here. Justified that short price last time. It's a short price today to follow up Croker's Lola. 4-7 on the off. So just poised behind the traps. Now with about 15 seconds to go. If you are at the counter, last call for bets for the 5:39. As I say, we'll be off to Clonmel for Division 2 of a 2-mile 3 handicap hurdle in due course. And at Valley, here we go. So Bunny coming round towards the boxes, odds on, then trap 3 Crocus, Lola, the white jacket, and they're off and away. And 3 is out pretty well. So was 5 on the outside, though, and 5 and 3 match strides as they make their way round the bend. 5 on the outside of 3, and then comes 1, 4 and 2. And down the far side, 5 has wrestled the lead off the 3, 1, 4, and then 2 comes next as they make their way round towards the straight. 5 digging deep here at the moment is still a length and a half clear from 3. 5 runs off wide into the straight, but 3 just can't get past it yet. Up toward the line they go, and 5 is going to beat the 3. 5 the winner, and 3 was second at Bally in the 5:39.
My best bet for Berlin for the Premier League of Darts. Now, I'm not a fan of kicking someone when they're down, but I'm going to kick someone when they're down. I'm a nasty man. I know. We got it right with Getaway Price over Josh Rock last week. I think we're going to get it right with Johnny Clayton over Josh Rock this week. Most 180s eyes finishing to win the game. Josh Rock just cannot get anything going. I've been there more than once. It's difficult, and what you're doing, you're trying so hard, and the players you're playing, they know that they've got you on toast at any moment. I just believe Johnny will be far too good for Josh in Berlin. It's not nice doing it, but if we get in the queue, it's not all bad, right? Sorry, Josh. Sorry, Pat. Q, thank you.
So Clayton to most 180s and the highest checkout then as the Premier League Night 8 moves to Berlin. So it is an earlier start there, UK time. I think it's around about 6 for the start of the action. Johnny Clayton to win the match, the highest checkout in the most 180s. And now that should be 11 to 4. We're going to push it out though to 7 to 2. That's a nice price boost, isn't it? Wayne's had a good look at that, and that's what he reckons will happen. And there's an epic boost for plus card holders as well. Luke Littler, who else to be the outright winner tonight instead of 5 to 4. We're going to push him out to 2 to 1, but you need to have your plus card to take advantage of that. 2 to 1 instead of 5 to 4 for Luke Littler to come out on top in Berlin this evening. Now elsewhere, Mahoning Valley there just reaching the start. The greyhound's out on the track at Toaster, but as promised we have got 2 more races from Clonmel. The 5:42 coming up is Division 2 of a 2-mile 3 furlong handicap hurdle as the runners reach the start. 3 to 1 the field here with the horse number 12, Spelaki's Cross, the mount of Donna Myler being the market leader, was in action over fences last time out and returns to the smaller obstacles here. Then let's cross over to the Willie Bell Racing Radio studio.
I'm out, just going through shot there, has the hood onto it. Need to settle nicely here, but ran on nicely at 50 to 1 last time off this same mark of 85. It has a nice weight of 10 stone 13. Last chance to get your bets on. We are at post time and they are just milling around. Just the paddy selection there, Ode to Joy, is just gone away from the others. Not too sure what's going on there, but Spelaki's Cross just on the drift now. 3 to 1 from 9 to 4. Spelaki's Cross. Opposite ends is coming in for support. 130 from 5 to 1. Potter's Pal, it was as big as 17 to 2 5 or so minutes ago, is now 4 to 1. Ode to Joy, the selection for Paddy Aspel, 17 to 2. 10 to 1 off Ossifer Hops. Ballyredding Kingston at 12 to 1. 14 to 1 added bonus, and bigger prices the rest. They're sorting themselves out over at Clonmel. The girths are just being checked there on, it looks like, the cobbler's wife, Michael Doyle, on board that one. They are walking forward. And let's go over to Clonmel then for their penultimate race of the evening.
Flags raised. Vendetta. Second division again over 2-3. First to show in front is Marl Park. Approaches the first of 12, leading Spelaki's Cross, Castle, Ossifer Hops. Wide of them is Ballyred and Kingston, and then Brave Endeavour. Live My Dream next, and they're followed by Potter's Pal as they bear right towards the back straight, and flights 2, 3 and 4. Marl Park by 3 lengths to Ballyred and Kingston. 1 and 2 are stable companions, then Castle, Spelaki's Cross, Ossifer Hops and Brave Endeavour next, followed by Live My Dream and Strand Street last. Potter's Pal, and on the outside is the Cobbler's Wife. And then Boston Breeze, added bonus, Ode to Joy, opposite ends, Dark Lieutenant. Away from the third flight. Entering their final 2 miles, it's Marl Park out in front of Ballyred and Kingston. Then Cassett and Spellicy's Cross, followed by Osfer Hops. Brave Endeavour, Strand Street Lass, The Cobbler's Wife, Live My Dream, and Ode to Joy. That was hurdle 4. Good run before they reached the 5th. Marl Park, Danny Gilligan out in front of Ballyred and Kingston. Michael Keneally, just third is Spellicy's Cross. And Donamaya from Cassett. Danny Mullins on board the reserve, and then Osfer Hops, Ethan O'Sullivan. Brave Endeavour, The Cobbler's Wife, Strand Street Lass, Live My Dream. Ode to Joy next. Then added bonus, Boston Breeze, Butler's Pal, opposite ends, and Dark Lieutenant. Well spread out. Marl Park by 4 lengths to Ballyred and Kingston. 5 lengths back to Spellicy's Cross, a definite third now. Shifting on from Cassett and then Osfer Hops, The Cobbler's Wife. Brave Endeavour and Live My Dream, Ode to Joy, and added bonus, and Strand Street Last, and Potter's Pal, Boston Breeze, opposite ends, and Dark Lieutenant. Linking up with the 5th, Marl Park. From Ballyred and Kingston, Spellicy's Cross, Cassett and Osfer Hops. Very few changes up front. And then Brave Endeavour, Live My Dream, The Cobbler's Wife, Strand Street Last. Ode to Joy and Potter's Pal. Added bonus, Boston Breeze, opposite ends, and Dark Lieutenant. On rising ground to the winning post with the circular race. 6 more flights left to jump. Second division of the Glenry Handicap Hurdle. Marl Park in front from the start. Retains an advantage of 4 to 5 lengths over Ballyred and Kingston and Spellicy's Cross. Osfer Hops, Cast to The Cobbler's Wife, has ticked off 1 or 2. Then Live My Dream and Brave Endeavour, No to Join, Strand Street Last. Potter's Pal added bonus, Boston Breeze, opposite ends, Dark Lieutenant. That was the 6th last flight. Turning towards the back straight, 5 left to jump. Bowling along, 3 lengths cleared as Marl Park. From Ballyred and Kingston, who has closed the gap. Then Spellicy's Cross. Osfer Hops, Casted next, and The Cobbler's Wife and Live My Dream, Ode to Joy. Brave Endeavour, Strand Street Lass, jumped by Potter's Pal at that flight. Then added bonus, opposite ends, Boston Breeze, and Dark Lieutenant remains trailing the field. Over the next, Marl Park, Ballyred and Kingston. 1 and 2 from Flagfall, followed by Spellicy's Cross, Striped Colours, and then also for Hops and Castle. Live My Dream, The Cobbler's Wife. Brave Endeavour, No to Joy. Going to the last of 3 in the back straight. And it is Marl Park up and over from Ballyred and Kingston, 4 lengths between them. Ridden away from it in third, Spellicy's Cross. Then also for Hops and Castle next, but Live My Dream and Ode to Joy, The Cobbler's Wife. On the inside is Brave Endeavour, and then Potter's Pal, and added bonus, opposite ends, Boston Breeze, Dark Lieutenant, struggling is Strand Street Lass. Marl Park with a greatly reduced advantage of less than 2 lengths from Ballyred and Kingston, then Spellicy's Cross and Castle next. Ridden along as Osfer Hops, and then Ode to Joy, who's improved. Then Potter's Pal onto the heels of the leaders, and then Live My Dream, and added bonus from a good bit back. The Cobbler's Wife is drifting back through the field on opposite ends. Brave Endeavour.
Just Ruler looks down the outside is Wayne the Pain, and Making Profits is absolutely storming home down the outside. Looks joined by Making Profits. Wayne the Pain out in the middle, but Making Profits a big win there over Wayne the Pain. Photo third. Looks Think Like a Winner. Capricious Ruler, Sir Bear a Lot. Then followed behind them Kamikaze Fighter, Red Top, Cocoon Bay, and Mr. Hollywood. Some win there by Making Profits. Lisa Staples, dead last on the corner, has come right down the outskirts of the track and has got up to win here over number 4, Wayne the Pain, who was back second last on the corner. Third will go to number 10, Think Like a Winner. And fourth in will be number 3, Looks 2, 4, 10 and 3 in the frame.
good run at its previous run in the Fillies and Mares bracelet. Still that blustery wind as the starter climbs the ladder at the 1600. And they're racing. Out the back door early is Renovation Show. Getting away quickly, Lady Tremaine. And driving up their Winning Shuffle with Great Deal, the Mighty Butch. Shawler settles fifth early. The stablemate Alma Mater around the outside of Ginger's Sister. Now Renovation Show kicked up on the inside. Araficio gets back with Hubert. Annie Warbucks. And back last is Rivercrest Magic. 11.50 to run down the back they go. And Lady Tremaine out in front and moves the margin out now to 4 lengths. Great Deal is second, Winning Shuffle third, then the Mighty Butch. Shawler running fifth, Alma Mater next, a length away, Renovation Show, a length and a quarter then to Ginger's Sister, Annie Warbucks, Araficio, 2 lengths away to Hubert, and last is Rivercrest Magic, the best part of 12 lengths off the lead. 700 metres to run, and Lady Tremaine still out by 3.5 lengths, Great Deal. Then followed Winning Shuffle, followed by the Mighty Butch. Shawler's just easing into the clear to start improving its position from Alma Mater. Then followed back in the field, Renovation Show. Ginger's Sister's a long way back with Annie Warbucks coming down towards the corner. Araficio, Rivercrest Magic and Hubert. They jam up behind the leaders as they come down to the corner, and they're about to swing into the straight where Lady Tremaine still in front from Great Deal. Shawler looking for a run through the middle. Then followed the Mighty Butch. Ginger's Sister's right down the outside. Shawler goes up to join Great Deal. Ginger's Sister, Renovation Show. It's Great Deal, Shawler, Ginger's Sister on the outside. Shawler and Ginger's Sister and Great Deal. They go down to the line in a nail-biting go. Ginger's Sister's got it. Ginger's Sister a half head over Shawler. Photo third, Great Deal. Annie Warbucks was running on, as was Hubert. Rivercrest Magic from Araficio, the Mighty Butch, Alma Mater, and Lady Tremaine is one of the last in, along with Winning Shuffle, who pulled up very sharply. Ginger's Sister, an eye-catching run at its last start, sat back and has come with a good run down the outside to grab the favourite Shawler in the last couple of bounds and wins by about a head. 11, Ginger's Sister, Luke Campbell for Steve Wolf, the winner. Second is number 3, Shawler, Lucy Fiore for Katja Warwick. Third goes to number 2, Great Deal, Holly. We're back here Easter Sunday for the Albany Cup meeting. Already in the last. It's the High Gain Edge Handicap who sponsored today's program. They're racing. Rupert's Empire came out very awkwardly. He's Angelic away quickly with Inside Success in the early stages. And driving up there is Mary B, Favios, Private Sapling, Dynamite Bay. The pace is really on. Goddess Drifter settles midfield with Hudamaki. Then followed Chrysalis well back. There's No Second Thoughts, followed now by Rupert's Empire. And dropping back to last is Top of the Pops. Heading towards the 600 metre mark. He's Angelic. Work to the lead. Inside Success is second. Then followed Private Sapling on the inside to Mary B from Favios. Goddess Drifted's covering a bit of ground but starting to improve now. About 4 lengths off the lead coming down to the corner from Dynamite Bay. Chrysalis makes a wide run. Then followed No Second Thoughts. Hudamaki's well back in the field. Rupert's Empire as they run down with 2.50 to go. Inside Success went up on the outside to join He's Angelic, but Goddess Drifted grabbed them in a stride and raced up on the outside and comes clear. On the inside, He's Angelic sticks on. Inside Success drops back to third, but Goddess Drifted has bolted in. A length and a quarter, He's Angelic. Inside Success, Mary B, Top of the Pops running on from Hudamaki, Chrysalis, Rupert's Empire, Dynamite Bay, Favios, Private Sapling, and No Second Thoughts. That was pretty impressive there. Goddess Drifted let down beautifully for Natika Reardon and comes away to make it back-to-back wins for the Paul Hunter stable. Grabbed them in a stride, it did. He's Angelic, runs second. Gian O'Donnell for Mitchell Pateman. 6 Inside Success. Luke Campbell for Steve Wolf has run third, and fourth in went to number 10, Mary B. Interim numbers are 1, 2, 6 and 10. Fifth in went to number 8, Top of the Pops. Was a length and a half by...
great country racing from right across New South Wales. It's all live on the Sky Racing Network.
Is back.
What a return! He's come back from nowhere and he's now 2 for 2. Dubai future classy in the Dubai Gold Cup. Finding more in the late stages. Believing goes on to win. Believing for William Buick. What a thrilling Alquoz sprint. Look at Tuz diving again, but it's going to be all too late. Dark Saffron a half length. Romantic Warrior trying hard. Soul Rush dives tight. Got there. And away we go. Down on decile, the Japanese raid tonight is on full force. Wins the Shima Classic. The 29th running of the Dubai World Cup. Hit show right over the top. Hit show in the Dubai World Cup.
30 years ago, a vision was set in motion to create something the world had never seen and place Dubai at the heart of the global racing scene. This vision, driven by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, has become a spectacle without equal, the Dubai World Cup. This is more than a race. It's a statement, an opportunity for excellence, ambition, and possibility. And yes, the stars have arrived in droves, forever young, chasing history to become the highest earning horse in the history of the game.
Forever young, Nisos not going away, but he's forever young towards the line. Forever young, forever in equine history.
Maidan, looking to dare to dream. 5 months ago, running in the Melbourne Cup and in his second dirt start, contests this $12 million feature.
Maidan coming clear here. Maidan, a dirt winner in Dubai. What a move by Simon and Ed Christmas. Maidan comes away.
Could it be Hitshow, who defied the odds last year at over 50 to 1 on the international market? He looks to defend his crown against some of the world's best.
Hitshow out when it's all too late. Look at Hitshow right over the top. Hitshow for Florence Giroux and Brad Cox in the Dubai World Cup.
But this race is bigger than any one horse. This is a culmination of 30 years of vision, 30 years of greatness. And this Saturday's edition is only one more chapter to this great story. The Dubai World Cup, Edition 30. Don't miss it on the Sky Racing Network.
Sydney Autumn Carnival Stakes Day this Saturday. 2 Group 1 features headline a powerhouse afternoon of racing. The Tancred Stakes anchors a card stacked with quality. 3 Group 2s and 3 Group 3s raise the stakes even higher. Big moments, high pressure, non-stop action. Live from Rose Hill Gardens.
It's all to play for.
Here is Spirit Dancer, a 2-times winner of the Bahrain International Trophy.
Oh, unbelievable.
The
first Turf Series race, the first 4 home were locally trained. Second Turf Series race, the first 4 home were international.
We have seen some impressive winners here in Bahrain.
This Saturday, Wyong has the next qualifying race in the Provincial Midway Championship Series. 2 more talented gallopers will be heading to Randwick for the $1 million final for Day 2 of the Championships.
Thank you very much for your company on Formline Extra this evening. A pleasure to be with you looking ahead to tomorrow's 8-race card at Muswellbrook. Hoping to find us the winner is Kian Dickens, and she joins us now. Kian, how are you? How's the track looking ahead of tomorrow?
Hey Kirsten, yeah, great to be joined by yourself. Unfortunately, we just had a really big dust storm right through Gilgandra and dropped a little bit of rain, and having a look on the weather app, it doesn't look too good for Muswellbrook, unfortunately, this afternoon. They've had 0.2 mils so far, and it's overcast tomorrow. It's supposed to be a shocker, windy, a top of 20. So unfortunately, probably the worst day forecast for the week, but hopefully that rain can hold off.
Yeah, that does not sound appealing at all, does it? I think I envy you being trackside, but hopefully the weather app is being dramatic and hopefully everything is A-OK. So we'll have a look at the first race on the card. It's over the 1,000 metres, and Better Off Alone is the favourite in this at $1.65. The 2-year-old handicap, $3.50's Hellenic Bell. Street Lyric is at $7.50. So we'll have a look at the speed map for the first race, and there are a couple of horses who could potentially lead here, Kian.
Yeah, there is. Better Off Alone has been very sharp at the trials, not necessarily under race conditions. So it's going to be interesting to see what Regan Bayless does from barrier 7, dependent on how she jumps. Because with her and the second elect, they're both a little unknown. Not the fact that they're not raced, the fact that they failed first up is what I would say. Better Off Alone is a replay we're going to have a look at, and she contested a Group 3. Returning this preparation after heading out in the gym crack in the market as well. Now, this trial was on the 20th of this month, over 800 metres. She was on speed and she put a really nice gap on them. So she certainly had her opportunity first up, but that was in Group 3 level. And I don't think the gym crack was overly strong, where she didn't offer a lot, but looks like she's come along nicely since they set her back to the trials. This is so much easier. The second horse I want to talk about is the 5, Hellenic Bell. She can improve. She was a sharp enough trial winner ahead of her debut. She sat midfield, one off. They just had to take her back from that awkward draw. She got very, very fierce. She didn't actually settle until the 600, where the speed horses started to make their run. And as a result of that, she didn't let down. I think the 1,000 metres coming back from 1,200 is key for her to get tempo on and relax better. The 7 is on debut. Looked quite nice at the trials for Chris Lees. Hasn't been let go, but looks like it's got something to offer. And then the 1's been much in muchness for Brett Thompson, but does have some tactical speed on debut. 4, 5, 7 and 1.
A maiden over the 1,280 metres brings us to race 2, and the favourite here is Cariff at $3.70. Powerful Annie's at $4.20. Talk About Layla $5. Hellfighter is at $8.50. So 4 runners are in single-figure odds here to go around in the second event as we have a look at the speed map, courtesy of Racing and Sports. Plenty of pace, but it does look like Think Back's going to try and take advantage of the soft draw. Is that how you read it?
Yeah, it's a big field with a few debutants, so it's a little bit unknown. With the favourite, they look like they've been intentionally riding him quiet in his trials, so I assume that's what they want to do, particularly kicking off at 1,280 metres. This is Cariff. We're going to have a look at his recent trial. He's had 2 to prepare him from this. As I said, I think they intentionally had him ridden quite out the back. He's a colt rather by the Autumn Sun. He had a tearaway leader on this one, and I just thought he closed really nice. He was at his top. You can see him there with the white face for Kieran Ma in the Australian bloodstock colours. So he looks like he's going to have a really nice turn of foot. I think 1280 is a perfect kick-off point for him, and there's money to suggest that he's doing good things at home other than what we can see at the trials. The 13 in Powerful Annie, she was good on debut. She was back. She closed very nicely. She was by far the best of the back markers. The certainly is right up her alley. The 8 in Talk About Layla resumes for Chris Lee. She's had 2 trials to prepare for this and actually trolled sharper than the stablemate. Just not sure what she had to offer. And then Checks and Balances was a here nor there run first up in the market, was so on debut as well, and trip increases are positive for that runner. 4, 13, 8 and 6.
Sticking at the same distance for race 3. This time a benchmark 58 though, and there's a $2 favourite on the tab. Goes by the name of Siragusa at $2. Ready and Lucky for 80. Rosewater is at $5.50. Speed map for race 3. Again, there's plenty of pace in this. I guess over the sprinting distances, though, you do expect that. Do you think that NAPC is going to be able to overcome, well, it's not a wide draw, is it? But those that have got speed on the inside will clearly get the advantage.
Yeah, I would have actually liked to have seen a little more tempo in this. The horse I'm going to tip likes tempo on. That's Ready and Lucky, and probably wants a little bit further than the 1280. So unfortunately, there's only those couple of prominent speed horses, and we haven't seen one at the Ready and Lucky, and this is last start at Tario for the 1250, where she chased a hot tempo, which is suited for her. She did draw sticky too, so probably went further back than she usually has to. And she was the best of the back markers. It's just, I'm not sure if the 12.8 is going to favour it because she was very, very sharp at the trot. It was an unsuitable trip. So you can see her through the line there. She was very unlucky not to win that race, but she's not sure what they do in terms of those speed horses are drawn here or there, but hopefully they run along for her. Onology was first up last prep, only beaten 3 lengths behind a Colt and Nimble Star. Haven't seen him at the trials. He comes to hand quickly, previously with the David Van Dyke stable. Siragusa in the favourite was very dominant, winning a maiden, didn't win much, but did it in proper good style. And then Tipsy Miss, that maiden win had been coming last start, and the fact she did it over a shorter trip suggests that she's going to only improve off the back of that, and the trip increase is a plus for her. 1, 2, 3, 11.
Halfway through the 8 race card, and this one's over the 1,000 metres, a Class 2, and Zocket Man is the $3.90 favourite, hoping to hold off Real Baker at $4.20, hot on its heels. Occult is at $7.50, $10 or more the rest. As we have a look at the speed map for race 4, there have been a fair few scratchings out of this, or a couple of double nominations, but it shouldn't affect the pace much. I know that Hell of a Nature's raced at Hawkesbury today, and I think Chamber of Secrets is going to run at Armidale on Sunday. So they're back markers though, so it shouldn't change too much, Kian.
No, that's right. Did you say Hell of a Nature went around today?
I thought they went around at Hawkesbury today. Lee McGorian, race 9.
Yeah, it might have done. I haven't got that scratch. Well, it will be a scratching, unfortunately, Hell of a Nature. I've got it second pick, but I've got a Colt on top. Now, the speed map's really important for this horse because he's only proven at 6 furlongs. I mean, he's only ever had a go at that, but he's a really nice athletic style of horse that wanted every bit of it. Now, this is his win before being tipped out last preparation. It was a Class 3. This was off the back of a maiden win. You don't often see that. It's hard enough to go to a Class 1, let alone a Class 3. And he was too good. He beat Tough Guy in the pink and blue there. You've got Nimble Star that he's tackling now. So he beat some proper good horses from around this area. He did have an issue. He had a setback. I'm not sure what it is, so he's been off the scene for quite a while. I thought he took good improvement from his first trial into his most recent trial, and he finished alongside Know Thyself and Formal Display. We know Thyself speaks for himself, but Formal Display was a winner first up, so the trial form looks good for him. He just needs a bit of tempo on, kicking off at 5 furlongs instead of the 1200. Hell of a Nature, unfortunately, obviously went around today, but I thought it looked sharp at the trials. Zoffat Man's the interesting run, resuming after a bleed, was a winner prior twice from only 2 starts and then bled. So the initial trial, I thought, yeah, looked good, and then I thought he might have offered a little bit more in blinkers, his most recent, so I'm just not sure how to line that trial up. And Chamber of Secrets was a very nice horse taking out her maiden in over a further trip, but she's a nice horse and I think she'll come to hand very nicely. 2, 1, 5 and 10.
That wraps up the first 4 races on the 8 race card. We'll take a break on Form Line Extra. On the other side, the quaddy legs.
Deliver more with Toyota Forklifts, the world's #1 forklift brand. Get Toyota's legendary reliability. Get world-leading safety. Get smarter energy solutions. Get more uptime with Australia's leading service network. And power your business forwards. That's the Toyota Forklift Advantage.
Get a Toyota Forklift.
It's a simple objective. Shoot the lowest possible score. So at Drummond Golf, if you find a lower advertised price, we'll beat it. The Drummond Golf lowest price guarantee. You've got to love that.
We all want to live in communities where we feel connected to others and accepted for who we are. After all, it feels good to belong. Sadly, 1 in 4 Australians say they often feel lonely. But when we enjoy positive, respectful relationships with those around us, we feel more resilient and we're more likely to feel a greater sense of belonging. For tips and resources on how to create, share and grow belonging in your community, visit neighbourseveryday.org.
Don't miss the last chance to qualify for the Provincial Midway Championships this Tuesday. The top 3 place getters from the wildcard at Newcastle will earn a start at Randwick on day 2 of the championships.
Thank you very much for joining us on Form Line Extra. Just prior to the break, myself and Kian Dickens had a look at the first 4 races on the 8 race card at Muswellbrook, and we're now up to the quaddy legs. A Class 3 to kick off the quaddy legs over the 1,450 metres. Regal Problem, the favourite in an open market, $4.80. Feared is at $5. Solitario's at $5.50. Underlay $6.50. Favour the Bold $7.50. Lightning Speed is at $9. So according to the market, there are a few cases that can be made, and I'm not sure the speed map makes it any easier, Kian.
No, this is a great race. I spent a stack of time on this and I just thought, what's going to jump out at me is my top selection. And I've ended up going with Underlay just because of the price perspective. I think she's a good price. I actually thought she'd be shorter in the market. She had 2 very excusable runs returning. First one was on a heavy 10, in our favourite. Graceful Ellen actually beat her, which won the wild card for the country championships qualifier. So the form wasn't bad. And then at Rose Hill, in a highway, she was badly held up. Last start, she got every conceivable and she showed us what she's got. And it was a win with upside. She's still learning. As you can see, when she hits the post, she runs a